When I was young, I never needed anyone, and Star Wars was just for fun. Those days are gone. Living alone on the island of Acto. But when I gave Kathy a bone, she never moaned. All by myself, ain't got a trilogy all by myself anymore. Hello, man babies. How are we doing there? And thank you to the Goth Knight for the inspiration. There it is. Thanks, Girth. He set us off. I wasn't quite sure of the key, the tuning on that one, but I did my best for you, Girth. Hope you appreciate it. And I saw you in the chats, you man babies, talking about Glasto, and if Lizzo can get on Glasto, then surely old Ruin can get a slot. So you're damn right. I expect to hear from my agent about next year's appearance. Anyway, we're back. Hello, and I hope you're all well. And it's part 15 of the Phantom Menace. Can't quite believe we're still here, but hey, we're doing our best for you, man babies. Today is Wednesday. You know the time, you know the place. It's the Brown Alliance, and we're trawling through the George Lucas prequel movie, The Phantom Menace. And I am your host for this evening's hilarities. I'm Ruin Johnson, the greatest Hollywood director of modern times, indeed of all times. And on this evening's stream, as I've already said, we are crawling our way fingertips through the mud, through the manure, some would say, of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And before we begin, some formalities. Firstly, thank you all in the chat for getting here on time, unlike most of our guests. But anyway, we'll deal with them in a moment. You can find us here on YouTube, or if you prefer your entertainment in podcast form, you get us on Spotify, or if you want to just drop your pants down to your ankles and do the old, what's it called, the aeroplane with your wanga, you'll find us on OnlyFans, so you catch us there as well. But if you've not shut down for the evening, as Brown always says, lots to get through, and we won't get bogged down in the intro, so we'll get the goddamn guests out. So, first up, from a VPN far, far away, he's the golden reach around droid of choice. The android with the hemorrhoids, it's Z3PO.
Oh, Master Ruin, a pleasure to be with you once more.
Hello, Z, and we're back again, and it's starting to feel like deja vu, but I don't know, there's an outside chance we get this thing wrapped tonight, hopefully. What do you think?
Well, fingers crossed, sir. I can't bear it when you sing. My audio receptors are under so much pressure, it feels like a submarine full of billionaires stuck at the bottom of the North Atlantic
No.
Ocean.
Oh no, I was wondering how soon we'd go there, and we've gone there really early, so can always rely on Z for taking us to places we don't want to go, a bit like that sub. But anyway, we do have some retrobates in the green room, but it's looking rather sparse tonight, so we may have a couple of them turn up midstream. In which case, when that happens, we'll go right back to the start of the Phantom Menace, just to make sure no one misses anything. But Z, shall we see which retrobates we've got ready to kick us off?
We will, sir. And may I say that your voice sounds like, well, very dodgy.
It's like the screams from inside a submersible. It's just barely audible. But
May
thank
I
you, Z.
suggest, sir, you turn off the pornographic torrents?
It was obviously affecting me tonight. I know. I must remember to do that. Okay. Well, thank you, Z. I will take it as a compliment. I'm not sure it was. But next up, he is the man from Glasgow. He is. I hope that's not doxing him. Set your Jedi power phasers to stunning and brave. He's coming live from a tent in my back garden. It's my number one fan, not Brian Young.
Hey, good evening, Ruin. Good evening, chat. Good evening, Z. How are we all?
Very
Very
well,
good.
Brian. And you were saying just as we were chatting in the green room, you've already basically emptied half a bottle of Jack Daniels, but not down your neck, sadly.
It's everything I love runs away from me, as this Johnny Vegas once said.
Well, I hope you saved at least some of it because you're going to need it for tonight. Let me tell you.
Oh yes.
What's I don't know if you're a betting man, Brian, but what odds are you giving us on getting this wrap tonight?
Oh, 50-50.
Oh, it's a 50-50. It's
I'm
a tight
afraid.
one. Okay, well, get ready, chat. We may be in for a rocky ride. Believe we've only got about 25 minutes of film left to cover, but the rate we go, that's probably about another 6 weeks. So we'll see how we go. But I do believe we've got one more retrobate in the green room, and should we get him out, Brian?
Oh yes.
Well, he is the man I like to call, affectionately, of course, the Yorkshire Ripper. He is the 55-year-old virgin. He's the man with the keys, the man with the greatest YouTube channel and chat on YouTube anywhere on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock talking about the Phantom Menace over 15 parts. It's Mr. Brown.
Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Brown. I saved you to last, Brown. I gave you
Hello, everybody.
glory.
Hello, chat. Hello, Z. Hello, Bri. Hello,
Yes.
Ruin, you big destroyer of people's hopes and dreams. You.
and songs by the sound of it, but
Um,
I try my best for girth. It's not
if
it's not
I
one of
may-
my favorites.
if I may.
There we go. He's gonna try and trump me here. Okay,
Okay,
Girth
okay.
Night, you're gonna get double your money's worth. There's Mr. Brown, everyone, with
Okay.
that famous song all by himself.
When I was young, I never needed anyone, and Star Wars was just for fun. Those days are gone. There you go. You're welcome.
And the chorus, Brownie, don't let us down.
All by myself. Don't want to be. Or whatever. Here you go, look. Here you go, folks. You're welcome. Here you go. Garth Nights for $5. Thank you, Garth. Regards to Michael. Ruin your vocals only outweigh your sci-fi directiony.
Oh, well, I'm obviously such a fantastic sci-fi director. I must have immaculate vocals. Thank you, Girth. I do affectionately call him Girth Knight, but it's stuck now, so I hope he doesn't mind. Brownie, we are starting just with the 4 Power Rangers here, but we are expecting a couple of retrobates to join us
Hopefully, yes.
imminently. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but we're not. These people want entertaining on a
Evening
Wednesday
chats.
night, so we're
Hello,
going to get
chats.
this.
Evening
Hello,
chats.
chats. We're going to get this thing on the road. But I'm going to ask our esteemed friend. We've got some intro stuff to do, haven't we? Can we have the really small text, please, Brown?
Yeah,
Stop
okay, let me
saying
do
very
this, and
small
then
text.
you're in control, my friend. So
Okay.
just subscribe, folks. If you're not subscribed, come on. We're nearly at 2,500. Come on.
White text, peach background, a little bit of shadow on the white text, but the font
Beige.
size
Beige, mate.
is font size 5, so you can't really read it anyway. You know what to do, people.
Yeah.
Hit whatever buttons you can see, and hopefully something
And
works.
if you're enjoying the content and you consider this worth tipping or donating, every little bit helps.
Are you still saving up for a new computer, Brown, or is it the hip replacement or something?
It's the hip replacement.
Oh yeah, okay.
Moving on.
Okay, come on, folks. We need to. Garth's
It's making
enjoying
it
the
rain.
vocals, Brown. Look at this. I think we could probably just do songs for Garth all night, and
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired.
he'll start paying you to
Cheers,
stop
Garth.
soon, Brown. Anyway, it's at this point where before we dive back in, I bet you all can't wait. But I'm going to call on our esteemed colleague and my number one fan, not Brian, to give us a little update. He's prepared a little update for us because God knows we need it. So, Brian, can you bring us up to speed before we dive into the first visuals?
Yes, on Coruscant, Chancellor Valorum has been booted, with Palpatine the favourite to replace him. Qui-Gon has vowed to train Anakin in defiance of the Jedi Council, but has agreed to accompany Queen Amidala to Naboo to protect her and identify her attacker. The disillusioned Queen has a plan to capture the Trade Federation's viceroy, using the Gungans as cannon fodder, while our starfighters attack the droid control ship. And here we will start, I think, on the grass plains of Naboo. So take it away, Rune.
Excellent, and thank you, Brian. We really do need those recaps because yeah, we are going at quite a snail's pace. But I hope you're enjoying it.
This is
Yeah, go on,
actually emerging from the swamp. I did ask Brown, what's going to be the first slide, Brown? He said it'll be the grass. And no, it's the fucking swamp.
He stitched you right up, Brown.
So
yeah,
it immediately
Brian.
and literally bogged down.
Oh, love it. We do love a bit of boggy swamp, don't we? What are they? I mean, I'm looking at lots of things on my screen, and the visuals are quite small. Let me go full screen. Are they riding something? Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yes, that's
yeah, they're riding two-legged beasts. Yes,
Cadus, they're called.
Ah, okay. There we go. Strange, very eerie visual, like something off Sleepy Hollow. This particular shot, but there we go. I think that's the one you're expecting, Brian.
That's it.
Anyone else feel like this was a little bit Windows 7 desktop? It's not really held up, has it?
Would it be Windows XP? Wouldn't it?
XP? I don't know. You know the one I mean, with the green hills, and I mean, this is all CGI, isn't it? There's absolutely
awful.
Yeah, it's 100% CGI, and yeah.
Well, I do have to say so. After watching The Flash, this is peak CGI.
Yes, I've heard some dodgy stuff. I think Brown enjoyed it, though, didn't you, Brown?
I enjoy anything.
Oh, okay. Anything? Okay, chat.
Most things.
Can we have some suggestions? He'll enjoy anything, so I want you to suggest things which obviously Brown's going to enjoy. So we'll revisit the chat in a moment to see if there are ideas for things for you to enjoy, Brown. Is this Jar Jar on the left playing this horn?
No.
Negative.
Oh, we don't know who this is. Just the Gungan, random Gungan. Lack of body armor on the Gungans going into battle, isn't there?
Yes, apparently they bring all their own stuff because they don't have a proper recognised military. Although Jar Jar does say they have a grand army, but it's a whole load of factions all brought together, and it's bring your own kit, basically.
Bit like, if you don't mind me saying, Brian, bit like your old ancestors. When we used to war with each other, Brian, we'd rock up in the full plate armor, and you'd be there in your
used to. I'm glad you think that's past tense.
And your checkered skirts.
God, I'm opening some wounds here. Anyway, let's lighten this up. Tom Abella suggests Brown, who enjoys everything, would enjoy the Last Jedi commentary track. So
nope.
Brown. No, you're not having that one, Brown. Okay.
No.
Well, you've used up your one pass, so that means you must enjoy this suggestion from Dick and Balls, getting pegged.
Well, yes, I prefer the Two Girls One Cup one.
Oh God!
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah,
I think there's a super chat room.
There's a super chat.
Yeah, do you want to do it?
I do. Common people, take it he's a pulp fan, says this stream,
£5. That's real money, folks.
£5
Real money.
Says this stream is purgatory.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, that suggests it's neither good nor bad. It's just somewhere in the middle for all eternity.
Fair to middling.
And Franco just confirming what we all already know there. Brownie likes getting pegged. There we go. Anyway, we're getting pegged down here, so let's again, some more wonderful CGI. Z, what are you making of some of the? I mean, not a lot of droid action here, unfortunately. But what are you making of some of the creatures and they're not the transports, these ball type things? What do you reckon, Z?
Oh, those are the shield generators, are they not?
Ah,
the big things on top of the fan bars.
Yeah, so we've got a mix of like kind kind of primitive beasts and a bit of tech mixed in. Is that an attempt at making like a trampled path, a mud path, the brown patch? I don't know. No. It looks, yes. It looks like an old PC game I used to play. You know, it is rather primitive. And all the Gungans, I mean, at the risk of being called something ending in ist, all the Gungans look kind of the same, don't they?
Moving on.
Moving on.
Well, we do have a line there, so we're going to bring Brown in to do the line in his best Gungan accents.
Oh, I can't do it. I'm not very good
You're
at
gonna have
doing
to
those.
try.
I'm very good at doing Jamaican ones.
Oh,
No,
No,
please.
I can't do it.
Brown, you've
Halt!
got to do it.
I'll do it.
Is that it?
What more did you want?
I don't know. I thought you'd. How should he have done it, Brian?
I can't remember.
Oh, God.
Everybody stop here, man.
Aye.
I think this is going to be 6 weeks, folks. Be warned. Be warned.
I mean, you have to admire the tenacity and bravery of the Gungans going up against the
Brave, aren't
foe
they?
that they know very little about and prepared to sacrifice their lives for their own planet. So props to the Gungans,
Yeah,
starting up the
proper
shield.
warrior race.
Girth Knight,
Brilliant.
but yeah,
Rain.
Girth
The
Knight
rain.
with $4.99 of dollars from whatever denomination that is. I presume it could be the States, it could be Canadian, who knows? Do we know where Girth Knight's from? Anyone?
From USA.
From USA, Girth Knight from USA sends us $4.99, which makes for reasonable currency conversion. Don't know how well the pound's doing these days.
One for
But
one
I'm
these
stalling
days.
because what he says is Purgatory is halfway decent, like these 5 streams covering the Phantom Menace, if you will. So we're fair to middling, chaps, and thank you, Girth.
I would just say to Garth, genuinely appreciate your generosity, my
he
friend.
is very generous, Girth. Very generous. That's why I butchered his song suggestion at the start. Have we got a name for this character, Z or Brian, or is it just some random
Captain
Gungan?
Tarballs.
Oh, Captain Tarballs. Okay. I'm not going to force you to any Gungan. I think we'll save that. But what do we think of these big lumbering creatures? I mean, could they be effective in a battle, or are they just there for transport? What's the concept here, Brian?
It seems a bit of a waste. They only seem to be there to be a bolster for the shield. Whereas they could be charging through the droids and stepping on top of them, etc. Does seem a bit of a waste. Notice the little guy in the right-hand side there who operates the shield, if you look closely, in the little bulb.
Oh, in the yeah.
Oh yeah. Very good.
Ooh.
Top right, everybody.
I was going to make another submersible joke, but it's probably a bit early in the night for that kind of thing.
I thought this. Bishop Moore, Captain Tarpaulin. Yeah, I thought
that. Captain Tarpaulin, and we had another name for whatever Brian said. Captain Big Balls. Yes, T-Gun. T-Gun. Captain
if I
Big
may,
Balls.
I'll just say hello, Scotty. Evening, mate.
We've got a good chat tonight. I can see lots of talented people in the chat, but we have another super chat. The Common People says, I thought Purgatory meant never ending. And I'm using real money, so I'm right.
Yes,
Oh,
£5. Real money, folks.
We don't want to.
Traditionally, Purgatory is to purge your sins. So if you've been slightly bad, but not too bad, you would go into Purgatory until you were purged of your sins, and then you can go into heaven.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that'll be week 6 then, yes.
Brian did Ori at GCSE. He got a C-, folks, so don't question his authority on that subject. So So, are we considering this the purging of the sins? Is that what we're doing here over these past weeks? Wow, I wonder. I mean, we all must have committed some serious shit in our former lives. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we move on and we get some. It feels a little bit Avatar almost at this point, with all the weird lasery things going on, and
Feels
the
like
tech.
Halo.
Brown, I feel as though we're so far from getting a look at that. We're almost full circle. I mean, is it a look at that shit moment, or is it a mega geek? You know, this is shit. Are we being harsh? I don't know. Clouds look okay.
It's probably because they're real. I just, it just
Sign
feels like a technical exercise from start to finish, and it's a shame because it.
Scotty, who's you give a shout out to, says he likes the Phantom Menace. Call me dumb. No, I don't think. I think you're not on your own, Scotty. It just, I don't know. I wonder if it holds up as well as. Yeah, I think that's what we're discovering as we trawl through it in fine detail.
I could forgive all the CGI and stuff, but it's just the utter dog shit script.
Amber Sidaway, and thank you for reminding us, Amber. We didn't establish the rules of the drinking game tonight. I think we're all just hitting the bottle hard. But Amber says, new drinking game every time there's a sigh of disappointment.
Be under the table.
Drink everybody.
I don't see us making midnight at that rate. Any others, chaps? Your submissions for the drinking game?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Every time Brown says dog shit.
I like saying dog shit. Oh, sorry. Drink everybody.
What else I don't know if we're going to get much more of Ewan's hair, but we'll take that one.
Oh, there is. No. Don't worry.
No, we've got some Ewan hair. Okay, Ewan hair gets a drink. And we've got a what's the R in front of the $5? Where
Rand.
Rwandan dollar.
Rand? Is it South African?
Is it? Well, anyway,
Possibly,
it's from Padawan. Z, can we get you to do the honors on this one, Z?
Most certainly can, sir. Pandawan says, Captain Panaka. Fun fact, the word Panaka means stupid in Brazilian Portuguese.
Top trivia, everybody. Top trivia.
Nice trivia. Nice. We do like it. And hello to Amber Sidaway, and it's good for you to join us.
Sit away.
What are we looking at here?
Energy shield going up.
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's
just feels like Halo. If anybody's played Halo, it just feels like Halo.
Can you give us a few bars of Halo by Beyonce, Brown?
Halo. No.
I can't even believe you tried. Okay. We'll wait for swappers to come on. We'll stitch them up. Oh,
somebody's coming in.
Oh, someone's coming in. Is that
go.
somebody at the door?
Sorry, no. Caranitas.
Somebody at the door.
There's somebody at the door. Okay, look, we are expecting a couple of guests at some point, folks. Surely to and I am trying to keep it on this screen for as long as I can because it's so awful. Surely there's a wind-up opportunity here between ourselves and the chat. We can think of something. So if you've got any ideas for when the guest joins us for a little bit of a wind-up, then do submit them in the chats because they are late. Yeah, and we like to give them a bit of payback. So sadly, we have to move on from this vagina in the sky, whatever it is, and. Yeah, and now the Gungans are protected inside this kind of dome. Brian, you could probably get into the detail on this. Is that the concept here? It's like a protective shield dome.
Yeah, it's a protective membrane that apparently can deflect shots, but if a slow-moving object passes near it, they can just walk through it as if it's not there at all, which doesn't make much sense.
A bit like the personal shields from Dune.
Oh.
Is that relevant later on, though?
No.
with the Anakin starfighter?
No.
Okay.
Still no.
Sorry.
And we switch perspective to the Teletubby Hill. And where's Tinky Winky? My favourite.
Tinky Winky's here, everybody. Timing.
Oh, here he is, everybody. He's finally rolled out
evening.
of bed.
Hey.
How's
How are
it
you
going? I see
doing?
you finally reached the end of the pod race, did you? So
Yeah, we got there about 2 weeks ago, but it feels like about 2 years ago. But anyway, now he's here. I did promise everyone we'd go back to the start, so no one misses anything. So not just the start of this stream, we go right back to the start of the fandom. No, we're only joking, Lordy. How you doing, my friend?
oh, tired. Yeah, I'm late because I forgot that I was on this one. So I rearranged the personal trainer. He left about 15 minutes ago. Then my computer broke, so I fixed that, and now I'm finally relaxing by, doing this. So all good.
A personal trainer, eh? You have you got any goals there? You what's
Yeah,
the
just
deal?
not being fat, really.
Okay, it's a good goal to have. Well, good for you. And you join us as we look up at CGI Hill, and you've missed Brian's recap, but you know where we are in the film.
Oh, yeah.
surely.
Should we do a super chat?
We'll do a super chat. We'll
From-
get Lordy on the case.
From effectively the channel sponsor. Lord, you available, please?
I am indeed from Garth Knight for $4.99. Mega Geek rules the realm between heaven and earth. His queen is Gina Davis, and they defend the long kiss goodnight to the end.
Oh, nice movie references there.
I don't understand that reference, but I'll take it that it's good.
Good film, Long Kiss Goodnight. Good film.
Yeah.
Oh,
good
have I
film.
seen it? Maybe I do understand. Oh, fuck it, I don't know.
And we've got I don't know what it's called, but it's in blue, so I'm going to put it up on screen. What's this called, Brown? When it's blue?
It's just a super chat.
Oh, it's a blue super chat.
I
Everyone.
think super chats are color coded depending on how much you donate. Dark Hour for $2. Mr. Brown presents, that's me, the Bogged Down Menace, year 63.
We really must wrap it up this week. We can't do a 6th week, as according to the climate scientist favoured by Greta Thunberg, this is our final day on the planet.
It is.
Yes, make the most of it, folks.
Look,
We're,
There is that the
everybody.
quick little defense of what she was saying is that she was quoting a guy who didn't say the world itself would end on this day, but if we hadn't stopped using fossil fuels by this day, then the world is doomed going forward. So either we are completely fucked today, in which case our last night on Earth, we might as well have a big
Longest
gangbang,
night.
or
Yeah.
there's no point caring about anything from now on until the end of time because we are doomed. So the same thing holds, I think. We can just drink and be merry and pretend that life doesn't matter.
And as a
Let's get
droid,
the-
I will, of course, survive.
Let's get the disco lights back on, folks. The ball is burst. The horse is bolted. The damage is done.
Yes, just go for it, everyone. Open your fridges, turn your ovens on, open them up, get the car engine running. You know, feed the tube into your into your living room. Let's all have a party. Common People says Ruin says Tinky Winky and Platoon appears. I mean, I don't know if you've ever noticed it's like Beetlejuice. If you ever want the Lordy to appear, just say Tinky Winky 3 times and up he pops.
I do have a very fetching handbag. Is that the same one?
There we go.
Is that
Is it
dipshit? I can't remember which one has the handbag.
Anyway,
Do you know
someone
what-
else has sneaked in. Should
Do
we
you know what?
get
A quick Teletubby fact before we go any
Oh,
further. Do you know in
there you go.
Australia when the Teletubbies was on, there was a little triangle that used to appear up in the top left-hand corner
Oh.
saying HC, which stood for homosexual content because of the
What?
flag carrier. I kid you not.
What?
That is outrageous.
Moving on.
Brown, if you don't get a HC in the top corner of your screen for the next stream, I'm quitting. Yes, Platoon, they're on to you. They know your game. You're working on that script of 100,000, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, it's
Words.
still going. It's still going.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, fresh from delivering his personal trainer session at Little Platoon's house, we've got a bit of Swapshop. Hello, Swappers.
Hello, men, babies. Has anybody explained why I'm looking at a Windows desktop?
We've already done that
Hey.
gag.
No,
And that's what you get for rocking up late. But, yes, good to have you with us. So we're good. We're 6 strong now. We're looking good. 50 plus in the chat. I think we're ready to get into this movie finally, aren't
Yeah,
we?
finally warmed up, yes.
Yes, there we go. So we just for benefits of you chaps, you can tell where we are, but we are lining up for the final battle. We got the Gungans on one side, and who's on the other side? Droids.
Yeah.
Evil
I will-
droids.
I will say the sound effects for this was fantastic.
Mm. The one thing we can't bring to you, sadly. These always reminded me of Slave One on its
A little bit.
side. Is that
I
kind of
suppose it's better than an iron.
an
Isn't it?
iron? Yes, true. Any thoughts on the designs? Anyone?
It's Halo.
Hmm?
Predates Halo, though.
So then Halo copied these.
Indeed.
Stream got
And we've got, as we established last week, if the droid's got a yellow stripe on it, I think Z, you can clarify. Does that make them some kind of captain or general or something?
No, that just makes them uppity.
Oh, an uppity droid.
Why would a droid need binoculars? Surely they would have the optics built into the head.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
Or is it just me?
No, see, I know you've been spending 8 hours going through one of my nitpicky scripts because you're starting to nitpick the Phantom Menace in exactly the same way. Why is the droid wearing binoculars? He doesn't need that. He must surely have binoculars built into his own head. Except that I would have done it for about 5 hours, where you very succinctly did it in about 10 seconds. So well done.
I'm learning.
There's absolutely nothing succinct about what we've been doing here for the last 10 weeks. But I get the point.
But in answer to your questions, it's an
Yes.
command battle droid
Oh, there you
who is directing the fighting of all the other units.
Jonathan
Super chat.
Frost
There
is
you go.
is in the chat, everyone, and he's super chatted us, and he says, "Derpy lizard rabbit ducks versus derpy robots." It's succinctly summing up the battle we're about to witness.
Knight Industries is here again.
Go on then, Brown.
Garth Knight for $5. Murray Head should do the score for.
Murray Head.
Probably can't afford him.
Who's Murray Head? I don't know. Who Murray Head is.
One night in Bangkok, sir, from the stage show Chess.
One night in
Oh.
Bangkok. Oh.
Oh right, okay. Wasn't Chess Benny and Bjorn from ABBA?
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. I know it. I know it so well.
I know it so well.
Oh, I think I'll go now. That's can't beat that one. Anyway, thank you, Jonathan. Smilex in the chat says Braveheart for toddlers. Brian,
Yes.
any similarities with Braveheart?
Both kind of shite, if you ask me. But moving on.
You don't like Braveheart, Brian?
No, it's a
Scotty.
pile of wank.
Oh, is it because the Scots lose in the end? Is that why I don't like it?
Because there's an Australian dwarf in the lead, possibly. No, it's just crap. It's absolute crap from start to finish.
Do you not rate Mel's accents in the movie, Brian?
It's appalling. There's an awful lot worse out there, but certainly that's up there one of the worst.
Well, I mean, you're a man that can do both Scottish and Australian accents quite feasibly and believably, whereas Mel Gibson, he kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice bit of action going on the slides there. I hope you appreciate that. Brownie took a while to do
Bit of
that.
animation, look at that.
Yeah, not bad, is it? There we go. Anyway, let's go.
Can we move on?
Binoculars. We can move on. And if you're wondering why it's taken us 7 weeks to get to this point, that's why, folks.
My internet's
What's the problem?
moving on.
Get a bit spotty.
You are sounding a trifle Norman Collier at times, Brown.
I think I might. If I log out, the slides will disappear. So I'll persevere.
Oh, he's going to hang in there.
Will they disappear if I'm here? Because I'm technically God on the stream as well.
Yeah, because I opened the slides up, so I think they will disappear.
Uh-oh.
Try it. Why not just try it live?
I
Experimenting
won't.
live on
I'm
air.
not going to say anything, and I'll let my Wi-Fi settle
There
down.
he
You
is.
guys proceed.
Okay, Brownie's going to retreat into the background, drop his pants, and just do what he always does around about this time when we're earning him his money on a Wednesday night. So, Brian, we've got an assault on these dome shields from the tanks, but they don't seem to be penetrating. Is that right?
Oh, they're not penetrating. I've just seen Gavin Blackburn's chat. Yeah.
No, but we'll get it up when.
Never
where
mind.
is it?
Never mind. Move on.
Yeah.
Oh, take a drink, folks. We got our first Schofield gag of the night. This is the point where Americans think, "Who the goddamn hell is this Schofield chap they keep talking about?" Don't Google him. Whatever you do, don't Google him. So the battle commences. The opening gambit. There's a volley from the tanks, but it's the shields are holding up, and then
I'll tell you
The
what.
shield thing is...
A
Sorry,
primitive,
Swapshop, after you.
sorry, mate. Yeah, I was just going to say, for a primitive species such as the Gungans, they are quite well advanced, aren't they? Really?
yeah, it's a hell of a defense. That yeah.
It's what I was going to say as well, because it looked kind of impressive at the time, but it's always the risk when you're going to do a prequel is that if you give old-fashioned civilizations technology that is more advanced than the more advanced civilizations in the later films, it's a bit incongruous. Like, if these shields are so effective, if droidicas can have personal shields that repel laser bolts, why doesn't the Empire use these things? Why don't we ever see them in the OT? And that you can find reasons for that, but you do sort of have to read them in, or you have to read around, because they're not really established in the films itself.
Yes, you'd think
only
they'd have
other-
a personal shield with a backpack generator.
Yeah.
That
The
would be
only other
perfect.
thing could be some other kind of tech. This is a bit of headcanon because they have the membranes, sure, that allow it to have air in Otogunga, but water outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar.
But then the destroyer droids also have them, and they're not under the water.
Fair enough. Moving on rapidly.
Cider Feet in the chat says they're the size of Neeson's balls. So take a drink for Liam Neeson Private Parts reference.
But not quite as smooth, I'll wager.
Oh, God. I don't want to ask how you know that. Melvin is a little bit upset because Brown, he says, tell them the joke about the hyena and the chimp. I spent ages typing that and you didn't even laugh.
Didn't even see it.
What's the joke about the hyena and the chimp? Well, I don't want to get you to type it again, Melvin, but you're going to have to give us a bit of
I'll have to search
context
for
on there. Yeah, okay, we'll get Brian on the case. Has Brown dropped off?
I
He's
think
dropped
he
off and
has,
we've lost
and
the
he's
slides.
taken his slides with him.
Oh, I don't
Grabbed
believe
his
it.
football and gone home.
He's restarting.
Okay. Well,
So
talk
we'll just
amongst
tread
yourselves,
water
folks.
for the next half an hour.
And
Okay.
any chance of us finishing this tonight has just been kiboshed. So we could be going into overtime. But okay, well, let's do a little round robin on. Obviously, we'll do our full recap at the end. But Phantom Menace, we've been trawling through it at a snail's pace in fine detail. What were your thoughts at the time when you saw it, and what are your thoughts today? And we'll start with you. Z, we'll start with you.
It's not my favorite Star Wars film.
Mm.
It was nice, but I felt a lot of the dialogue was very clunky, McClunky even. I think this is one of the cases where there should have been somebody in place to tell George no, and actually pull him up on this isn't going to work as well as you think it's going to work.
Yeah, we've said this before. I think Brownie often says this. There was no one there to say the NO word to George. And Brown's back, everyone. What's going on, Brown? Are you back in the game?
My internet just died.
Oh.
Did the slides go off, folks?
Yeah,
Yes.
we lost the
Yes.
slides.
Shall I put them back on? Sorry, folks.
Might be helpful.
Talk
We'll
amongst
edit,
yourselves.
we'll edit this out. Don't worry. We didn't get so far in there.
Should we just start from the beginning again?
No.
Let's just go right back to the start. There we were.
There we go.
Thank you, Z,
Let
for.
let me do them. Let me do them.
Okay, I think we're up to.
Where did you
I
get
think we're up
to?
speed. There we
Here.
are. We're right here.
Sorry, folks. I had a brownout. I'm on tethering now. I'm on my phone. Sorry, we had a bit of a brown down, as it were. Sorry, folks.
Brown out, is that not when you run out of heroin? Cannot find
Not
relevant
yet.
Deepness joke anywhere.
Oh
No, we
no!
can't win it.
For one moment, when the slides disappeared, Jay Goodwin thought Greta was right on the money, and it was the end of the universe as we know it. So, fair play. So, look, we've it was a nice
folks.
point to take an unexpected break, but we switched to a different set here, and it feels like a more physical set, thank God. So, anyone want to tee us up for this one? Where are we? What's going on? Bit of Ewan and R2 in the bottom right there.
We're in the Theed Central Plaza, where Padme and Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin and R2 are making their way through the city.
That's Padme at the front, isn't it? There, I can see.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
they're sneaking, because there's lots of droids over to the left. They're trying to sneak past, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Do you
checking.
remember last stream when we were talking about the length of Liam Neeson's?
Oh, yes.
She pulled up a 3D map and it showed the path they were going to take.
Oh, yes.
This is it.
This is it. Yeah, okay. Can I ask Lordy, because I don't believe Lordy, and I know he would have enjoyed that conversation. I don't believe Lordy was on when we were discussing Liam Neeson's huge wanger.
Oh, his giant penis. No, I think I remember that.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long. Okay.
The pod race episode was so interesting that we spent most of it talking like about the only thing in the world that's longer than the pod race segment, which is Liam Neeson's massive dong.
Dong.
Is there anyone else in Hollywood with a bigger lash than Neeson?
You're asking me like I should know personally. I have no idea.
I do hope you know.
None that I
Kathy,
remember.
she
no.
got one.
Kathy.
What's the rumors? The chat will know if they, I mean, obviously Neeson's impressive, but I'm sure is Stallone rumored to be
No, roids.
No, roids. Okay.
Swappers, are you available to do a super chat, mate?
Garth Knight for a super chat of $4.99 says Rick McCallum wears sunglasses indoors. He wasn't going to question George outside of what twink bar was closest to Lucasfilm.
Oh, look who it is.
Old Blue Man, movie cynic, $2. Started the stream at giant penis.
Isn't that always the way, cynic?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, to be honest, you've got a high chance of starting the stream no matter what point you start. You're never that far from a giant penis reference. So
No.
good to have you with us.
Several of them on the stream.
Seemingly Fassbender is hung like a Portobello donkey, but if you're looking for girth in your phallic region, Don Johnson's apparently the man to go to.
All right, if girth is what you're after, Don Johnson. But if you want some serious length,
Fassbender, yeah.
Fassbender.
Isn't there supposed
Apparently,
to be some sort of rule about small men having big penises? Because if that's the case, then Tom Cruise is very well hung because he's tiny. But I don't know if that is a hard and fast rule or if it's an urban myth.
Apparently, Harry Potter's got
Hard
a
and fast.
weapon, an absolute weapon under his cloak. Also, not the one I meant to click on, but hello, Jay.
Chat moved up.
Max says Willem Dafoe, huge dong.
Or Ariana Grande says that Pete Davidson's is 10 inches.
Wow.
He must have. He's got nothing else going for him, has he?
Is that
No.
is that 10-inch flaccid or is that 10-inch?
I think either way, sir, you could beat a cat to death with it.
I do love it when we get into these chats because I always think people who are listening to us talking like this, they're going to work the next day and people say, oh, what did you do last night? And I wonder, has anyone ever been honest and said, well, I logged in to watch some old blokes talk about the Phantom Menace, and instead they just talked about celebrity penises.
What about like Harvey Weinstein? Because he allegedly put it about a bit and nobody complained. Oh, well, maybe they did.
Smilex doing the old gag there. Oh, it was 10 inches big, is it?
Are we doing a drink with knob gags then? Yeah, drink everybody.
Well, I think we're out of drink already, if that's the case, Brown. Anyway, I hate to pull us back to the movie, but what's Padme doing here other than pointing a laser in someone's eyes? That's pretty dangerous, that.
She's communicating to Panaka.
Oh.
And rather than using radio waves, which I'm assuming headcanon again, heavy use of headcanon this episode, so the droids don't pick up on
it. Thank you, Brian. We have a super chat. Swappers, can we have your very best Palpatine from Girth Knight submission?
Girth Knight in the chat for $4.99. Don Johnson might have the best music to accompany a nice-sized wank. I can't believe I fucking read that.
I do like your Palpatine's morphing into something else. Like
it's like Mr. Kipling.
Yes, that's what I based him on. I've actually got high hay fever, so it's not quite coming across as I want it to. But that's what she said.
I love it. I love how we morph. Anyway,
also, I like this plan. They're being incredibly subtle. They are communicating via these little light signals just so the droids don't pick it up. And their ultimate plan is, let's wheel a huge fucking tank thing out into the open and start shooting, which is not the most secretive thing you could be doing. And you do kind of wonder how they got it to that position without being detected.
Yeah, it's so other than obviously shining a laser, what is the method of communication? Is it some kind of just Morse code or...
maybe? I don't know.
I've completely forgotten about this communication. I just thought he was starting his car up from his remote or something.
If you touch your head, you get a little bit more length on it. At least
here we
that's,
go.
that's what Liam does. Anyway, we've reached that part of the show, folks, and this is where it's my favourite part of the show, where we do a little bit of community theatre for you man babies. Now, I think I'm sure Lordy, this is all new for Lordy because this is I'm sure we only started this last week, but let me see. I think Lordy, we're going to throw you straight into the frying pan here.
It's going to be incredibly disappointing because I can't do a Qui-Gon voice. Like I have no idea how to begin.
It's almost better than your own. Yeah, whatever voice you want. So.
Swappers, isn't it?
Yeah, Swappers. I heard that for the last stream. Swappers has a Qui-Gon
all right,
voice.
we'll go with Swapper. But Lordy, please stay on standby because I might need to bring you in. So Swappers, take us away.
I have to try and make this not sound sexual. Once we get inside, you'll find a safe place to hide and stay there.
And that's it for community theatre, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I was really hoping for it.
That's it for the entire film.
Yeah, that's it. No, there'll be more opportunities. Maybe Brownie can queue us up.
But, that's a size comparison. Which is technically bigger, Liam Neeson's penis or Jake Lloyd at the age of 9? Like, which of them is taller if you stood them on end?
I don't know how close you are to the edge.
Get in.
Well, yeah. I mean, some quick measurements, and I don't know. He probably needs just. It would just help if he lobbed it out, and we could straight up measure them.
We are seriously getting bogged down.
Okay, we get bogged down, folks. Who wants to move it on?
Drink everybody bogged down.
It's took him 7 weeks. He finally thinks we're getting bogged down. Smilex says, much like me, they both have a round head. There we go.
Some of the people in the chat were saying this was Greece when it had money.
I thought it was a gag, or was it genuinely Greece? Does anyone know where it was shot?
No, it was a joke. It was partly Seville, partly in Italy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it's a different kind of setting for a battle, isn't it? So, yeah. Don't mind.
The speeder tank thing just looks like it's plonked there. Just don't know. It just doesn't look right.
These three guys like sat on a green bench in the middle of a green room.
Yeah.
In the least sexy kind of brown costume, you know.
I will say, in its defense, though I was only a tiny, tiny child when this came out, but this is 1999, and so I don't think it holds up especially well. But for the standards of the day, I mean, well, older people will remember better. Did it hold up as impressive when you first watched it?
No, you could tell it was heavy CGI.
Oh no, you could tell it was heavy CGI, but I mean, compared to any other heavy CGI film, does it look better?
I think when we were all watching it, we were just pleased to see Star Wars.
So I know Brown hates on this a lot,
of...
but I think it's okay.
Do I?
By today's standards, it's not great. But I mean, God Almighty, it was filmed in '97. The CGI was done between '97 and '99. It's innovative. It's pioneering. I think it was pretty good.
Oh,
for the time.
Bit of defense. When was Jurassic Park? Was that
93.
Yeah. I mean, how does that hold up so well, and then something like this? And
because most of it isn't CG. I mean, this is one of the many reasons I really love Jurassic Park as a film, is because it does have very impressive CG shots, but they are so few and far between that it saves it for these one or two exceptional panoramas like the Brachiosaurus. But almost everything else is animatronic, and it's claustrophobically shot, and it's small scale, and you're really bunched in with the camera, so it's all taking place in a dark jungle. So it's animatronics, it's closed in, and the only times it uses large-scale CGI are for a deliberate wow factor, which doesn't work in a film like this, which is just CG all the way through. And I think I'm with Brian. I think by the standards of the day, it looks impressive for CGI, but I think I remember feeling, even when I did first see this as a tiny, small child, I kind of preferred the look of the original trilogy because it just felt more real, because it was.
Controversial one from...
There are a few...
Little Platoon.
I was going to say, there are a few practical shots later on in the film which look better. Yeah, I think where the spaceship, the space station blew up, I think it was a proper model that they blew up, and it looks great.
Oh, see, I was going to say that final fight is an example of the CG done incredibly well, but now apparently it's not CG, so that's believable.
Drew Gordon says the Bronto looked crap in Jurassic Park. Now that was the big reveal, wasn't it? The Bronto.
You mean the Brachiosaurus?
Oh, the Brachio.
Not to be a dino stickler, but you know, get your facts right, Drew.
And Brownie, I don't know if you've ever done one, but Common People says Jurassic Park stream. I do believe it's an anniversary year, isn't it?
Well, it will be, won't it? If it was 93, yeah. Nobody's even thought of it, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Perhaps.
There you go.
Sign me up.
I think with the effects in Jurassic Park were hidden very, very widely by the fact that it wasn't HD at the time. I suppose if you watch it on DVD now or on Blu-ray, you could probably pick it apart completely. But...
Yeah, someone else in the chat, and I'm trying to find it to give them credit, but I can't. So, but they made a really good point. They said it was also cleverly done by the use of sort of nighttime shoots and rain and various other things. So, yeah.
Because most of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park was always animatronic, because one of the famous anecdotes from that is that it used to turn on when it rained and scare the shit out of the crew members who walked past.
Smilex is saying you might get Mauler on for a JP stream, Brownie. So
was into Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Max says also up for a bit of Jurassic Park. So give the people what they want. Brown, I'm a fan. I'd be up for it, unless you want to bench me for that one. We have Girth Knight spending all he's just been paid today, and he's spending it all on the Brown stream. Let's go Z, if you would, please, Z.
Garth Knicket in the chat says, can Brownie please point out any practical shots he knows in this film? By the way, Deckard was never intended to be a replicant.
We're going to open that can of worms, are we?
Take a drink there.
Big drink.
Yeah, I think so. Drink, everybody.
Mention of Blade Runner in a completely.
We will do Blade Runner at some point.
Oh, the promises. What a summer we've got to look forward to. Jurassic Park, Blade Runner. Wow. Okay. Anyway, as we get diverted by other much better movies, we must tear ourselves back to the Phantom Menace. And good news, folks. Liam's got his massive wanger. Oh no, it's his lightsaber. He's got his lightsaber out. And we're going to see a bit of action here at last, aren't we? Who's the blondie on the right hand side there, Brown?
One.
Yep. Oh, I wasn't going to go there, but he's beat me to it. Okay, fair enough. What's confused about this shot is you've got a guard with a gun kind of lurking in the back. You've got obviously our two heroes with the lightsabers, but right out front is young Anakin, weaponless.
Women and children first.
Wow, yeah, what an approach. R2 up the rear as well.
What you can't hear is Kenny Baker screaming for his life inside the body of it.
Well, at least Anthony Daniels isn't around to make his life hell.
Well, we're going to get a bit of lightsaber action, thank God. And what do we make of? Okay, let me put it this way: Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, as they are in this movie, have a bit of a falling out and have a fight to the death. Who wins?
Qui-Gon Jinn wins.
Yeah, you think?
Does he though? Because he gets killed by Maul and Kenobi beats Maul.
Ah.
Spoilers for anyone in the chat who's
Oh no!
kind of thing.
Yeah,
No one's
ruined
seen
time.
it. Oh,
Time Promise
no.
not being back after we spoil John Wick.
Brian, could you read out this this submission from Gavin Blackburn, please?
Gavin Blackburn in the chat says Obi-Wan hacking down Schofield.
There we go, folks. Schofield, take a drink.
Super chat.
Go on then, Brown.
A super chat from Common People. £5. That's real money, folks. Deckard was intended to be a replicant. I'm using real money, so I'm right. You are indeed on both counts.
Common People is rapidly carving out his own catchphrase there, isn't he? With the I'm using real money, so I'm right. And I do like it. Good work.
It's good,
Common
isn't
People. Brownie, bizarrely, week 6 or wherever we are of the Phantom Menace, we're trying to get this goddamn thing wrapped. Everyone thinks it's purgatory, but it's turning into quite a lucrative stream for you. This at this rate, you'll be.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Cats will be getting on with dogs next.
People are literally paying you
Moving
to
on.
talk about Blade Runner instead. So there's a lot of Phantom Menace.
Maybe
We've
there's something
been
in that.
sit-
Like pick a really mediocre or shit film and talk about better films during that stream.
Roger. We've been sitting on Blade Runner for over a year now. But anyway, moving on.
Oh,
One of the compliments for the film, I much prefer the battle droid voices in this one and Attack of the Clones to the ones they use after the Clone Wars comes out and then in Revenge of the Sith, because they're just like traumatically cartoonish and it's incredibly annoying and such a terrible decision. So naturally, George thought the kids would like it.
Well, folks, it's that time of the night where we do a little bit more community theatre. I'm not sure how long this one's going to last, but I am going to call on one of our, really, it's one of the finest voice mimics you'll find anywhere on YouTube. He's, iron brewed up, so I'm hoping he's going to do himself justice. Not Brian, can you give us your most derivative take on this line, if you would, please?
Are we doing actual impressions, or are we just doing, maybe you selected the voices of choice to put in last week?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. First one in the chat, make a suggestion for what voice accent you would like from Brian. So let's see who's very first one I see appear in the chat. It could be anything here, Brian.
Jamaican.
Oh, God.
Jamaican.
Now, Don't let me down, chat. You know, I hope whoever's.
Come on, chat, earn your money.
I know. Come on, chat. What are you doing?
Jimmy
Time
Stewart.
delay?
Oh no.
Jimmy
Timmy
Stewart.
Mallet. Timmy
Really?
Mallet was the
Where
first
was
one.
that?
Yeah. Bishop
Oh,
Malt,
Timmy Mallet. It is. Sorry,
Oh.
Nikki, and excellent suggestion. A whack-in wardrobe. It's Timmy Mallet. So give it in your best Timmy Mallet, please, Brian.
Timmy fucking Mallet. Fucking Timmy Mallet, seriously.
No, none of the Americans will know. Go on.
I don't know who that is. Who the hell's Timmy Mallet?
Timmy Mallet.
How the fuck am I going to
Okay.
Timmy
Okay. Apologies, BIGT. We're not going to do Tim Mallet. We're going to.
Joe Biden's popping up.
Go for Jimmy Stewart. I'll try Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Cranky.
I can remember what Jimmy Stewart sounds like. I thought the battle was going to take place far from here.
It's not bad, folks.
Very
And
good.
there's lots of other good suggestions. I will be putting those in the memory bank there. Okay. Thank you, Brian. But with the
I don't
dialogue
know
continues.
If it was covered earlier, but the reason they do speak in a really weird way is because their face masks are actually practical effects. They had to over enunciate in order to get the mouths to move because they weren't very sensitive. And that's one of the reasons that they speak with that weird accent.
Is that why they sound Japanese?
I think so, yeah. I faintly
is
recall someone
Cocos.
once complained that it might be racist, and then they came out and said, no, that's not the reason. It's just that the actual mask didn't move unless you really, really opened your mouth for every vowel.
So
Brownie, if I could, I will continue with the community theatre, and your accent, Brownie, is coming on screen now.
What? I wouldn't even know how to.
Oh, give it a go, man.
Well, the comedy comes from you
must.
like making it up. So you know.
This.
What?
This is too close, man.
That's just fast Jamaican.
It should be like this. It should be like, this is too close.
That's the one. There's Z.
I just like the idea that in Brown's head, all foreign accents are basically Jamaican. It's just varying
man.
speeds of
How
Jamaican.
racist.
So,
Yeah, man.
Terribly racist.
Sorry, folks.
Oh, we're doing our best, you folks. We really are. But anyway,
This is a 17-week stream. I can feel it.
we're getting delirious.
6 weeks defo, folks. Sorry.
I do love the community theatre segments. I'm looking forward. Have we got any more of those, Brown, coming up?
Oh yes.
Excellent.
Plenty
I
of
can't
them.
wait. Okay, we're just getting started with those. Okay, bit of a docking bay here. Is that droid on the left having an accident there, or is he being shot up?
I think he's
or-
just been lasered.
Oh no, how unfortunate. But we do see this yellow ship to the left there, don't we?
I
Yes,
think there's a
and
line of Naboo fighters here.
Mm.
it's the
I
M1
like those.
starfighter, isn't it?
yeah, the M1. I've always liked those. I think they're beautiful.
Mm. And this is what little Annie is going to jump into shortly, isn't it?
Yes.
Spoiler alert. Sparks fly. Liam's got his big lash out. Is the Padme? Is she fighting her? Or is she just using the laser pen?
Yeah,
What's
she's
going on?
she's
Fighting.
packing a weapon.
Oh, packing, Brownie, I do feel as though if there's a chance that we're going to get this from you, it's going to be from something like this scene here. Any chance?
I don't think I'm a fan of the Naboo starfighters,
No.
really.
Oh.
Very impractical for bounty hunting.
Especially in yellow.
Plenty of storage. What do you mean? Yes, Gavin Blackburn doing the same gag there. Well done, Gavin.
I've offended Willie or won't he? Sorry, friend. I offend
Really?
everybody. I offend everybody. It's not just you, Willie or won't he? Moving on.
What was it your
It's probably
accent?
yes. I take personal offence at that. And Mr. Brown Eyes has been.
Willie Ormonty.
Bumbug parts.
Moving on.
Andy Mouse needs to go take a curl shower. Says she can pack my weapon. Good
It's only
God.
14, for fuck's sake.
Annie, find cover.
Oh, they're
That's
doing
not
it
bad.
unprompted
Not
now,
bad.
folks.
Quick, get to your ships.
I see. I could have
Go on,
done that.
Lord, you got a girly
do,
voice.
I can do the Monty Python woman's voice. Yeah.
Go on, Lordy.
Quick, get to your ships.
There we go. That's more like it.
I remember that's one of the first pieces of media I remember because I remember the trailers
Oh,
for this
media.
film when they were coming out, and they had that line superimposed over a shot of the pod race, I think it is, in the original trailer for this film. And bizarrely, that's one of my earliest memories.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Drew Gordon says banana yellow is a nice sports car colour. George likes sports cars.
Oh, yes.
Little Annie showered in well,
Easium.
I don't want to say. And another yellow. What's the yellow thing he's clinging on to there?
I think it's called scenery.
It's just
It could
random
be a
piece
giant
of
locket.
It could be. Oh, there's a nice shot, Brown. What now? Here's a question for you all. What do you think of the placement of the astromech in these fighters? They seem to be fairly high up there, and
It's
Terrible.
kind of a reference, isn't it? So the whole cockpit scene here is a semi callback to get everyone jumping in the cockpits in Empire Strikes Back, and the Astro is in roughly the same place as they are on the X-wing. And I guess it's fun. The thing that doesn't really make a huge amount of sense of the ships, though I like them a lot, is the color, because you if it's a space fighter in particular, ideally you kind of want it to blend in with the background so it's not the most obvious thing in the world. And yellow is kind of the opposite color of space. So it's not the best design choice ever.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
The only thing that didn't make sense to me is astromechs, as seen earlier in the film, were used for repair and or navigation. I mean, R2 in A New Hope makes repairs to Luke's X-wing while they're flying, but there doesn't seem anywhere practical that he can use the repair arm to reach. So they're using them for navigation only. It doesn't make sense for such a
I don't know, his little hand thing could actually be in a good position to probe the pilot in front of him.
Sorry?
Maybe that's what it's for. It's like
Give him
in-flight
a
pleasure.
nice relaxing back massage or a reach around.
Well, the workings are all supposed to be lowered down, because if you look at it closely, apparently the workaround is that his neck extends to a ridiculous degree, because you see there's no space for the shoulders to go there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you see in the cross sections books, the actual body itself is at the bottom, underneath where the pilot seat is, and the head extends out of the body and pokes up through the top of the ship.
And the latest toys from Hasbro have got these ludicrous extendable
There
heads.
you go.
Believe it or
There
not.
you go.
I'm having strange deja vu here back to Mando season 3 about droids and how
Yellow
they
there.
fit into certain ships, and yeah. Oh no!
Oh, right.
We've got it.
Wilhelm's scream here, folks.
Is it?
It is. George wants to put at least one in every movie
There's two.
in this.
Yeah.
I
literally
would do
two
it for
in a
you,
few
but I don't want to wake up
seconds.
the neighbours.
Well, okay.
We were
Well, I'm going to
we were
go right round
spoiled.
the group and ask you all to do your best Wilhelm scream. And if you're in danger of waking up neighbours, just try and suppress as little. So, Lordy, start us off. Wilhelm
I'm trying to
scream.
remember even what it sounds like. Ah!
Brownie.
Ah!
Z3.
Ah!
Brian.
Ah!
Ruin?
Swappers.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Oh,
Tell who lives
Ruin?
alone, can't you?
Sorry, what was that? I just stamped my toe against the kitchen unit. What were you asking again?
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh no, you couldn't top yourself. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Ruin, you do one.
Lots of RIPs. Wade
Wilhelm.
is Wade the character who's dying here?
Like the Wilhelm scream, Wade dies once in every Star Wars show. So yeah, this must be Wade. He is a pilot.
But we are taking out some droids as well, which is always good to see. What are we making of this setting here? It's a little different to the. You can see the CGI nonsense in the background, but the actual docking bay area is not bad, is it?
If you go back one, it's a bit impractical. If you go back one slide, because you see that they're stored one on top of the other, which means someone has to climb into the cockpit of the first one, which is then has to leave and has to take out. The other one has to get lowered, and then the process repeats itself. So it's like, I like it. It's pretty, but I'm not sure it's the most practical thing in the world.
No. I think style over practicality. Can anyone remember how R2 got inside the ship?
Yes,
You
go
go underneath and jump up, don't they?
and grab him and pull him up.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Swappers, you available while you're on your feet?
Oh, go on then. Hooligan S3 for $9.99 in the chat. It's the scintillating dialogue that makes this film, and the critique. Wilhelm Scream is groundbreaking content. Cheers.
Oh, we enjoyed it. $9.99. That's a gold super chat. What's the pinnacle of the super chat colours, Brown? What is it? Brown? Is brown the colour you're aiming for? Or?
I don't know what the colours are.
I think the red ones are the big ones, the really big ones.
Oh, okay.
One day, Brown.
Yes, one day.
Okay,
one day.
so we some starfighters are getting away, which is good. And
the yellow matches the Naboo starfighter.
This is what I want to see. This is what I came here for.
Yeah, this is what you want, isn't it, Swappers? And the answer to your question, well, it's a bit of a cut, but he seems to be hoisted up from. Yeah, just grabs him and pulls him up.
It's a good job that he didn't try and get into the ship that's on the top deck, isn't it? Because how would he get up there?
Well, he's up there, and then so does Anakin climb his way up there. Now, he was told specifically just to go and hide and stay out the way, wasn't he? But decided to do his own thing. We are getting towards the scene where Anakin starts kicking ass in the battle. What do we think of the choice to actually put Anakin in a cockpit and give him an active part in this? Is it believable, slightly comedic?
I thought it was a bit comedic, personally. I liked it, but I can understand why people would get annoyed with it.
George Lucas at the time said there are kids who are 9 years old who can fly planes, so that was what
Is that really what he said?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It's all justified.
He's given a reason earlier in this film that means he doesn't have to bullshit like that, because Anakin has the Force, he has superhuman abilities, and he's a pod racer. So it makes sense that he is able to do it, I think, within the rules the film has established. As to whether or not hiding in the cockpit is the right thing to do, it's a bit contrived because he has to end up there. But on the other hand, there's not very many safe little tidy corners in that hangar, and it probably is one of the safer places for him to be. So
he also has Rick Olay talking him through the controls and the navigation.
Yes, yeah, he does.
327 Nubian.
Jay Goodwin says Anakin's taking the high ground. Very good. Sharp. He's on it. There he is, getting into Mando's cockpit there. We're going to have to wheel out a bit of Lordy for this super chat, if that's all right, Lordy. Would you do the honours?
I suppose so. From Garth Knight for $4.99. I want to make it with Daryl Hannah replicant or not. Sean Young as well. Brownie as a Jamaican might disagree.
No, you've earned the right. You've earned the privilege, Garth. You knock yourself out, son.
You go with a bit of Daryl Hannah if you must. Daryl Hannah or Gina Davis? That's the question. I'll let the chat decide what the answer is. We won't get bogged down in old 90s actresses. That's not a bad shot. No, Brownie?
I'm assuming most of that is practical, and it looks really, really fantastic. And then the
steampunk
Windows XP at the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I remember the bit with Anakin in the spaceship, but I didn't remember some of these shots, and they're not bad. There we go, getting into action there.
I remember seeing the trailer for this movie and seeing Porkins in it.
Really?
Or maybe it was Porkins' older brother or dad. I don't know.
Melvin's going for Daryl Hannah, but Hooligan's going for a bit of Gina Davis. So we're already splitting the vote here. It's good to see. Here we go. Here we go. You can barely see over the goddamn, well, not steering wheel, but controls or dashboard, whatever you say.
Does anyone know what the rating is called on the side of the N1 Starfighter?
Ooh. Well, obviously, I'm hoping it's a rhetorical question of sorts, Brian, and you know the answer, but maybe Z will know if anyone does. No.
Some
No.
kind of sans.
I'm on a Reddit page at the moment that says, any idea what these symbols mean on the Naboo starfighter? No.
It's called Formal Furthark. It's known. It's not Korabesh. Yep, well done to R2. It's not Korabesh. We'll take that as a right answer.
Okay, there we go. Why has Padme got a gun to Qui-Gon's head here? It's a bit alarming, isn't it? It's a very thin nozzle on the gun, isn't it?
It's the noisy cricket from Men in Black. Every time she shoots it, she goes flying.
Yeah.
They're very Flash Gordon-esque.
Yeah, it is actually. Franco Waller wants to throw another one into the mix. He suggests Meg Ryan for... Oh, don't get Brownie started. Yeah? Is that your kind of
Crazy
thing, Brownie?
woman. Crazy woman.
Crazy. You like him crazy?
Not her.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, Futhor, it's just random letters. So there are some people hypothesizing that these are pilot-specific ships, and it's the pilot's name.
Ah, that would make sense. We've missed a her drink, so if you're keeping up, please do take a drink.
This might actually coincide with Princess Amidala saying, "Get to your ships."
Ah. Swappers, can you please do this following chat in your best Palpatine / Mr. Kipling?
He sucked off Val Kilmer.
Really? Okay. It seems very specific, that, doesn't it? I don't know how someone's got that kind of information, but
They were in a long-term relationship, apparently, at one point.
okay. It was a very specific activity they're referencing there, though. Brownie, seeing as you're getting all pervy over it all, could you read out this one from Obi-Wan Darkside?
Obi-Wan Darkside. Meg Ryan, don't stick your dick in crazy.
I've not seen that one. Was that one of her earlier movies? Don't stick your dick in crazy? I don't know. Anyway, we're getting bogged down in Meg Ryan, aren't we? So we head into space, and yeah, I think your point earlier, Lordy, was the yellow of the starship against the space background. We can't see it quite here, but yeah, that's where it comes into its own, isn't it?
Soundtrack here is very good, from what I remember.
Yep.
I think at this point of the movie, everyone that had been sitting there waiting for this moment just got super excited. They finally got their first space battle in decades from Star Wars, and it was just electric at this point, I think.
It was slightly annoying they couldn't find a better reason, though, to have it where there was only one droid control ship left. That always struck me as very, very convenient. So, well, they all fucked off. Why? It's reasons. Wasn't it because they wanted to forestall? Well, no, because the whole point was that they went to the Senate and then they asked for an investigation, and the Senate was stalling even on the investigation. But I think the reason given is that all the rest of the ships left just in case the investigation turned up and found that there was in fact a blockade. But then surely having one left even then would still be a bit dodgy. But also it was a terrible blockade because you could just fly up from the planet rather than laterally from the planet and you'd have escaped it. So it's all a little bit silly, but it does look very impressive.
Sorry to get sidetracked, but Smilex, a man after my own heart, he says if I'm going with crazy 80s celebs, I'm going for Kim Cattrall. And yes, Kim Cattrall, a bit of mannequin.
Great in Star Trek 6.
Oh, right, okay.
Going back to the ships, I think it's more likely that they all gave their ships names like the World War II fighters.
I was going to say they do have that aesthetic in this, don't they?
Yeah, quite retro, yeah.
With the
Wasn't there a cut
goggles,
scene? Wasn't there a scene cut from one of the Clone Wars episodes where they've actually got a picture of Padme on it and Anakin does his nut?
Yes, one of the Clone Wars animatics, one of the clone troop carriers has got one of those sexy pictures of Padme on it, but they decided to cut that out when they did the Bad Batch 4-episode arc.
Misogyny.
I like that idea. That Anakin's walking along and he just seen that one of the clones has made porn of his girlfriend and stuck it on the side of a ship. Like, they should have kept that. That would have been funny.
Suggestions keep coming in for your 90s sexy ladies. Demi Moore, of course.
She had it.
I don't know some of the other suggestions. Virginia Madsen. I don't know who that is. Anyone? Maybe it's just like his next door neighbor or something. I don't know. Susanna Hoffs.
She was all right.
Checkmate. She's hot. What's she in, Brown?
Bangles.
Oh, the Bangles. Oh, God.
Walk with an erection.
Anyway.
No one mentioned Kim Basinger yet.
No, surprisingly not. And but I'll give you that one. I think Franco's Goldie Hawn. I think Franco, you've probably we need to cut you off on the drink there, Franco. You've had one too many. And some other people whose name I don't know. Anyway, we're back to Naboo and our Windows desktop battlefield, and
Great
they
sound
are
effects.
ceasing fire. Are they ceasing fire because they're not penetrating the shield?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a bit of a bugbear in media with this one. Whenever loads of not very good filmmakers just assume that everything that's off screen is in a state of complete pause. So for all of the proceeding that we've just seen, we're led to believe that these droids have just been shooting pointlessly at the shield. And only now have they decided, it's obviously not working. Or it's because they were off screen, so events just weren't in George Lucas's mind at the time. But it's not huge in this film. There are other films where that's a worse deployment, but it's still a bit irritating.
Abject, thank you, Lordy. Abject Mediocrity says he's invested probably upwards of 12 hours in this stream, and he says, "How have we not even got to Maul?" And
Next week.
There's a strong danger we're not going to get to Maul tonight.
We've only got another 35 minutes, probably.
Oh, good God! This is becoming delirious. It's great. But anyway, we might even get a bit of field battle action. Who knows? We'll keep pressing on. So what was the Gungan's plan here? I mean, they can't just stay behind the shield forever, can they?
Well, theoretically they could. I guess the plan is to draw the droids out because they know they've been told, I think, what the basic makeup of Trade Federation forces is. They know they can't be hit from long range, so they frustrate the Federation into sending in troops to short range within the shield bubble where they're more vulnerable, and then you can cut down the battle droids. Though I was supporting the battle droids in this scene because I fucking hate Gungans.
But essentially cannon fodder here. It's Operation Get Behind the Gungans.
Red Sai says, can't wait for 6 weeks of Anakin romance when you do Attack of the Clones. Oh, good God.
Oh God, I hate this guy. Just die. Just go away.
Well, I'm going to go to Brian because I think he's just about got enough syllables there to give us a decent stab at a Jar Jar Binks. Any chance, Brian?
Daddy.
Did not know Nelson Mandela was on this battlefield.
No.
The tanks are... they're opening up, are they? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Max Vroomfondle. I don't want to read it out because I don't know what these things trigger. I hate to endanger Brownie's stream, but we feel you, Max. Nice summation of Jar Jar there. Sure the Lordy appreciates that.
Yes.
And here we go. And the way these droids are deployed is quite nicely done, isn't it?
I do like the Trade Federation multi-troop transport, especially the Lego version, because it came with 32 battle droids.
Wow.
Nice.
Brian, can we just go back to you? I'm not going to say one more time, but I'm going to need to do another Jar Jar. For this one from
I've
Gavin.
seen it. I knew you'd do that.
this one
I knew
from
you'd do
Gavin
that.
Blackburn, please.
These are Justin Scofield.
I'll never get tired.
Drink,
of
everybody.
Scofield. Take a nice big drink, everyone. Come on, we've earned it. Yeah, I do like this. Oh, and we now have individual shields.
Very Halo, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this
one
would
of
have worked.
On you go, Brian.
I was just going to say, I think this would have worked better if there were more humanoid, maybe just humans with a bit of makeup, practical effects, instead of all CGI. I just felt like he just bit off a little bit more than what he could chew, perhaps.
I think part of the problem is, if you look at the original Star Wars, you had two different scenes you were following towards the end. You've got the trench run and you've got Yavin. And then you go to Return of the Jedi, you've got Luke versus Vader, Endor in the space battle. Whereas this one, you've got the Gungans versus the droids, you've got the space battle, you've got Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Maul, and you've got Padme versus the Viceroy. There's far too much going on. I think that's the George Lucas too far in places quote comes from that.
Can you bring up the chat from Bumgums, because I was just about to mention this.
I will. I just we just give
I can't do that voice. Could Bry's the expert?
Is he done this in a Gungan, in a Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Can I nominate Swappers for this, because Swappers is better at the.
Oh, okay. We'll go with a bit of Swappers then.
What for Jar Jar? Fucking hell. Oh God, no.
Do Palpatine doing a Jar Jar
Oh my God. This is going to be the most fucking bizarre thing. Right. Garth Knight in the chat for $4.99.
Oh, he's gonna be finished in the 6 episodes.
He's done it.
Sounded like a Spaniard.
Hey, hombre.
He's only gone and done it. There's no other stream you'll hear Palpatine doing an impression of Jar Jar Binks. There we go.
Hello, Dave.
That was
Z, what was the comment you answered? Because the chat are on fire and
Bumgums in the chat says, "Who kept all that grass cut? It is literally pitch quality, isn't it?"
Oh, it is. Yeah, someone else mentioned about
Cool. Look at
there we go. Well done, Bumgums. Yeah, someone else said you're going to have a battle avid on a golf course. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's unusual, isn't it? Thanks, Garth. I'm not even sure Garth's considerable bank balance can hold up to many more weeks of this, though. Okay, so what are we got to pause in the battle here? I wasn't sure what I was looking at first. It's a load of Gungans in the back, isn't it?
Yeah, the droids have been deployed and they're just waiting activation.
Yeah. From the mothership, I assume.
Brown, what's the chance of us getting some community theatre in tonight? Have we got any coming up shortly?
There is, yeah. Don't worry.
Oh,
there is. We
good,
just need to
Excellent.
proceed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the meantime, Jonathan Frost has thrown a little bit of dosh into the hat. Yeah, I'll go straight ahead. He says, "Does anyone else realise that Jar Jar was a mentally challenged character? George with the representation way back in the 90s. Good for him." There might be something in that in all seriousness.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, it would explain his behavior. I guess what would they put it down to? Like ADHD these days, or I don't know. He's certainly got a bit of
Welcome
something going
to
on.
Dodgy Territory on the Mr. Brown Alliance.
Let's if the chat would be so kind as to diagnose
proceed.
Jar Jar Binks.
It's just a blithering idiot.
He was basically
And
Frank
intentionally.
Spencer in Star Wars, wasn't he?
Turned up to 11, yeah.
How much chat have we got going on in these forthcoming scenes, Brown? Is it worthwhile doing a bit of community theatre?
There's a few, I think so, yeah, I think so.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, chat, your accent suggestions, please. And once we get a few in, they're just all going off on Jar Jar at the moment.
It's
Yeah, give us
awful.
your accent suggestions, and I'm going to dish them out to some, and then we'll watch them make a half-assed attempt at it. So I can't read off the stuff which is being said about poor old Jar Jar. So BIGD Moore wants Swedish Chef. So
Birdie,
Brian.
birdie, activate the droids. Birdie, bird.
Oh, okay, Brownie, you're
Is that a
taking
Welsh?
that one.
Is
Fair
that a
enough.
Welsh chef, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, Brown, you're going to be the Welsh Swedish chef,
Oh
and
no.
Punchable Face just wants a rather simple Australian. So maybe
Yeah, go on, Bri.
we'll amp that one up to Steel Saunders, rather Steel Saunders there from Brian. And if we do need another voice, Swappers, can you give us a Greta Thunberg?
Activate the droids.
How
There
dare
we
you.
go.
Activate the droids. How dare you.
And your Swedish chef on the next line, Brown.
Birdie, yes, sir. Birdie, yes, sir. Shit.
Not
Sorry,
the most
chaps.
agile fingers to do a very rather small touch screen, but there we go. Sure, he works with it. Brown, I thought we had a whole scene going. We only got two goddamn lines.
Get on with it.
We'll get back to it. Okay, we'll get back to it. The battle lines are drawn. The CGI is terrible, but something's going to happen pretty soon, I think. Oof! Wow. Intimidated or just kind of pathetic? What do we think? Somewhere in between.
Slightly pathetic.
Yeah.
They're taken down so they're not really any threat. They're taken down so easily by Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan at the start and continually through it. So by the time the big battle comes, it's cannon fodder versus cannon fodder.
Yeah, you make a good point, Brian, because if we go back to A New Hope, the first Star Wars film, at least the stormtroopers, you know, when they kind of did the tunnel scene with Vader, at least they appeared semi-threatening, didn't they? Kind of set them up quite well. But you're right; these are just skittles, basically, to knock down.
Semi-threatening as opposed to Liam with his threatening semi. Moving on.
I liked it, Brian.
When I saw the production images or the stills for this film before it came out, and I found out about the droids, I just thought, wow, this would be badass if they were like Terminators, you know, really coming at you, really scary. And I saw the film and I just thought,
Is this the film that you knew everything for?
Yeah, we won't
before
talk
you
about
went
that
in,
now.
and
Yeah,
you
we
had
won't-
the
we won't
hypnotist.
talk about- we won't
So
talk
you okay? Moving on.
What does ouch time mean?
Ouch time.
We're fucked, I think is what it means. But sadly, they're not.
We've gone in dry.
How to ramp up the anxiety, hey? We better drop a bit of ouch time in. Brownie, that might need to be the new name for the Wednesday night stream. Ouch time. Ouch time on the Brown Alliance. Franco says, big side drink, everyone.
Do you think Infinity War stole this scene? Because there's the bit when Thanos' guys arrive outside and Wakanda uses its magical bullshit shield, and then all of them have to run very slowly through it. And I watched that the first time. I thought, yeah, you've watched The Phantom Menace recently when you wrote this.
I knew I'd seen that before somewhere.
Request for the chat who've not let me down all night, so don't let me down now. Can we just have some Jar Jar lines? You don't have to be
Yeah.
authentic. You can make up
These are
your
getting
own.
messed up.
Probably
So
better
there's
if
not
you
enough
do.
Jar Jar in the film already. We need more.
We're going to get
Yay.
more, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right round the panel of retrobates and get you all to read out a Jar Jar line. So, so we'll start. We've already got some of them coming in. So, Lordy, we're going to start with you. Here's your line. Ready? Here we go.
Misa getting messed up.
Oh, he's put zero effort into that. You know, the work he puts into his scripts for his YouTube reviews, and he couldn't even give us a bit of Jar Jar. We'll loop back
All
to
or
him, folks.
nothing.
I'll get a
All
better
or
one out of
nothing.
him. Brown, do you want a rather simple one?
We are screwed. Was that good or bad?
I think that was quite good.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a Jar Jar line, but I'm going to give it to anyone anyway. Z3. There you go.
Oh God.
Ouch time means Scorfield's here.
Scorfield.
Oh God.
Drink. Drink, everybody.
Have a big drink, everyone. Obi-Wan Darkside, I'm coming back to you. Don't worry. Who are we up to? Brian, there's your one, Brian. Thanks, John.
What are you fucking doing?
Sounded a bit Filipino, that one.
Oh God.
These streams are getting
Swappers.
slower and slower. Anybody notice that? Or was it me? Are we going backwards in time, chat?
think we
It feels
are.
like,
I
it
think
feels like we're going backwards
we
in time.
really
have they
are in
switched?
purgatory.
Have they switched CERN in Switzerland on again?
I never switched it off.
Swappers, go for it.
That's a bigger banger donga, Liam.
Well, that's just Taiwanese.
I never said I was good at Jar Jar.
Right, time for
Moving on. Yeah.
Progress, please.
Time for the Lord. No, Lord, we
Fuck's
can't
sake.
move on until we got your better Jar Jar from you. Here
Jesus.
you go. Hang on. Here you go. Here's your line from Kyriantos. Go on, Lord. Give it to him.
You gotta eat lead, bitches. Can we hit the next goddamn slide, please?
Okay. That's as good as we're going to get for it. It's like trying to get a song out of Mega Geek. It's impossible.
I think there's a super chat.
There is. Go, Brown.
Obi-Wan Darkside, €5. Jar Jar Binks' disability isn't half as disabled as KK. Brian can do it in his Nicola Sturgeon accent.
Oh, do what? do the D's.
I don't know.
Misa getting investigated over a missing 600k.
We've got all the references tonight, folks.
And Fiona M, $2. Liam to Natalie, try spitting.
Oh, God.
Try spitting. That's a good trick.
Oh, that's good, Brown. You're getting better. BIGT says weak from the Lord.
Yeah.
Weak from the Lord.
This is where the droids just walk through the shield.
Oh, no. Yeah. How
Halo,
did they get
everybody.
through? Was it plot armor helped them through
No,
it?
just walk through it.
Oh, okay. Well, and it's are we finally going to see a bit of hand-to-hand contact?
Just looks like a
Hand-to-hand
video
battle,
game,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, they start walking at each other first, and the Gungans, despite having incredibly high-tech energy shields, still use medieval weapons like slings and catapults to fire their little energy balls. And the balls are kind of useless because they don't do any kind of splash damage. So, like, when I first looked at the catapults, I assumed that one would take out dozens of droids. But like, one droid gets hit, and that's the ball wasted. It's incredibly inefficient.
Hostman has come up with another line. I won't put anyone else through this, but I realise I can't make everyone else do it if I don't do it. So I'm just going to say, Misa getting Epstein for seeing something I shouldn't have. There you go, folks. I did my best. Is that a problem, Brown? Now Amber Sidaway called this one before it actually came on screen. What are these blue balls?
Kind of energy balls, aren't they?
A bomber. We still don't have a bomber.
Very strange. Well,
That's one of the droids getting hit by one of those
Jesus.
balls.
oh God, what is?
So was ever a picture that needed to be photoshopped? It's that one.
Yes, that expression.
Oh, throughout this battle, Jar Jar Binks just acts like a complete imbecile.
It's the whole film. It's not just this battle. It's
But
every
even
scene
more
he's in.
so, this just utter imbecile.
Yeah,
just
but it's
destroys
funny.
any
The
kind
kids
of-
will like it.
Oh,
Yeah, it destroys any kind of urgency or
God.
danger at all, doesn't it? Having him on there.
It's not even
Seriously?
that, it leaves you rooting for the Trade Federation.
Yeah.
It's just natural selection at this point. Should see Jar Jar wiped out.
Serious question though. If Jar Jar had got beheaded in this battle, would it have?
Improved the
Good
film?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. I mean, it would have scarred a few children, but yeah.
It felt like we got beheaded by watching him. Moving on.
Garth Knight says, "Holy smokes! It's going to be a 6 weeks at least." Oh.
Oh,
Garth,
Yeah.
you're going to have to start doing some overtime, mate. Sorry, Garth.
Abject mediocrity says that's Liam's morning expression, apparently. Yeah, and someone else in the chat says Red Sai says Jar Jar. Where is it? Sorry. Oh, chat's moving up. Where is it?
Do you
There
want
we
me to
go.
get it?
Got it. Jar Jar dying here might have saved the movie. Ooh. I think the one I wanted said something about heroic death, but
Here you
I don't
go.
know.
This is for the Brits. Kranatos Jar Jar as Buster Gonads.
Oh, wow. That's an old Viz reference, isn't it?
Yes.
I believe. Yeah. Here we go then. Some flashing lights
pew,
and
pew,
pretty
pew.
colours and yeah. Wow, it really is a lot of CGI, folks. But we are saving the best to last. I mean, am I right in saying the Maul and Obi-Wan
I think that's next week.
and Qui-Gon? I know it's next week, but it's a good way to end, isn't it?
Fuck.
I hope it's not going to be spoiled. I have no Liam Neeson.
This has
dick
been,
jokes.
what, 6 weeks of edging? And it's going to be another one.
Tantric
Yes.
streaming, I suppose you could call it.
tantric streaming.
We're going to do the whole of the final week in ASMR voices, so we can look forward to that one. Am I really going delirious, or do I recall right? There's some kind of they kind of go down on wires at some point, like scale the side of a building on
they
wires. Is
go
that
yes,
right?
upwards. Yeah. That's for next week, everybody.
Oh, it's next week. Okay.
Can I take? Oh, so we moved it.
Oh, it's okay, Brian. We've.
Can I
not
take that
averse
in the
to-
style of Steel Saunders?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even see the line. Go for it.
I reckon the Viceroy's on the shitter.
We do love a bit of Steel Saunders. And he's
Hey, wait
been
for
left alone
me.
because I guess no one knew he was in the goddamn cockpit. That's right, isn't it?
R2 did.
Garth Knight, who's surely
Oh,
gonna have to
Garth.
start shopping at Aldi this
Oh.
week.
I'm overwhelmed by your generosity. Garth Knight for $5.
And Brownie, stop, Brownie. He's done such a fantastic job tonight, Garth. It's only fair you give him your best Nigerian for this one.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I can't do one.
Oh, whatever the closest is you can get to it.
Z was good at doing it.
No, it's only good if you do
Oh,
it.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
You nearly had it. God, just give it. Just go from the half brown. We'll all back you. We've all got you.
I can't.
Just read the line as if you're a Nigerian female. Don't think.
I'm
Use the
overthinking
force.
it.
Use the force, Brown.
Who's the force, Brown?
Brian, Brian, just give him some very quick coaching. How does he segue into this? What's the
I'm
secret?
sweating.
Come on, Brian.
Just relax the throat muscles, Brown. Protect them. You're going to take a big one.
Jesus. Okay, right, Brown. It's like jumping out of a plane. We just need to do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, for God's sake, man!
Oh, somebody help me out, please.
This is. Come on, Brian. Save the day.
To be fair, Brownie, am I not an imbecile for following this through all these weeks? He and David Diaz isn't even around. Really don't think snakes.
Oh, when will it ever end? It's got to the point where everyone wishes Greta was right and the world would end tomorrow.
How dare you?
Oh.
The other thing, person in chat number 76 has just logged on and happens to be a Nigerian. And he's just logged on for that particular moment.
And he's gone.
Who does the Liam Neeson? I think it's Swap, isn't it?
Stay where you are. You'll be safe there.
Finally.
And it's
Drink,
at this
everybody.
point. It's at this point we're going to say goodnight to you. Or no, we got a little bit more, Brown, haven't we? A little bit more, Brown.
You've got another 111 slides to do in 13 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, one for
This
the
has
road
been
here, folks.
slow as. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
It is, folks. Just enjoy. Suck it up, man, babies. Just enjoy it.
So the lift door opens. We can't fly past them too fast, and there he is, Maul. And now at this point, I'm right in saying we've not seen the double ender, have we? So that's still to come. You can look forward to that one.
I did have a question because I really, really love this scene, but
good for you.
If they all just shot at him, do we think that he could have repelled the combined firepower of 30 or 40 people?
Nah.
Because I don't think he could, and it annoys me that they set it up that way because it's such a cool scene, but it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Unless Liam Neeson's character was wanting to save all the people from having the blaster bolts deflected back at them. That's the only headcanon I can see in defense.
Yeah.
Do you notice how much Panaka shits himself when he sees him and no one else fucking bats an eyelid?
Yes.
Was it a grudge, though? You know, when he had his little tete-a-tete in the desert with him? Has it become personal?
That was
I don't
4
think
weeks
so, 'cause
ago.
that would be against the whole mythos of the Jedi. You don't hold grudges like that.
Okay.
So,
Swappers, can we bring you back in for this one from Princess Fiona? We're going to need your Liam Neeson again, if you will, please.
Princess Fiona in the chat for $0 says, "You have a particular set of cock rings. Cock rings that make a nightmare for people like you."
There we go. Don't you wish that line was in the film? Anyway, Maul rocks up. Everyone shits themselves, or rather, Panaka does. And he clears shop here, Maul, doesn't he? Pretty much.
Kind of far right doesn't look particularly scared, does he? In fact, neither of them on the far right look particularly scared.
Never.
Salvador Dali in the far left with that tash.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Salvador Dali. Yeah.
George Lucas can't be
political
bothered to give acting directions to his main cast, so the extras are basically screwed.
Was that the drummer from
very
Blink-182 as well back there?
Hmm?
Yeah, just on to the right of Salvador Dali. Drummer from Blink-182.
Blink-182.
Yeah.
God, the references are obscure here, aren't they? Brownie, blonde piece in the middle. If you had to give her a score out of 10.
Well, I said 1 earlier. Yeah, 1. I said that earlier.
Okay. You like him, do you? Is he your favourite?
1.
Yeah. It's definitely 1, folks. Close up a
Get on
Maul.
with it.
Close up. What?
Oh, look at that.
Brownie's finally broken on week 6.
Look at that.
You've got to look at that.
AF.
Have a big drink, you man babies. Finally got to look at that. And we've also had another super chat. Common People says, show me the binoculars droid animation again. Pure art. That's slide 15 and 16.
£5. That's real money. Real money means he's right, everybody.
Yep, that's his catchphrase, folks. Don't forget it. People are going crazy for Maul in the chat. So
Brilliant.
Little bit of a round robin on Maul. Lordy, what are your thoughts on Maul? You like him?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant cosmetic and aesthetic design. Makes his point, does an incredibly good job. I am not one of those people, though, who thinks he should have been kept alive or that he should have been dragged out. I think it's probably better that he died and should really have stayed dead, because you can have too much of a good thing, and because unless you're going to completely transform the stories of the next films, Maul simply does not fit anything like Palpatine's plan. So I think part of the reason he is so beloved is that he is on screen for such a short time. It's why it's always recommended that famous people, celebrities, politicians die, because then they'll be beloved forever, like the Kennedys or Amy Winehouse.
Johnson.
No one's ever really gone.
Not when fucking Dave Filoni's about. That's certainly true.
Kerry Ansis is saying that shot of Maul is CGI. Wow. Brownie, fan of Maul?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Okay, that's all we needed from you. Z?
Yeah, I love him. He's
Love
very
him.
menacing.
Yeah. Phantom Menace. Brian?
There you go.
Maul fan? Let's not get Maul down. Very good.
Not,
You like a bit of Maul, Brian?
Not overly.
No.
He looks
Oh.
great. His fighting style's brilliant. He's well portrayed by Ray Park physically. I'm the same. It doesn't. There's nothing to him really, and I despise the fact that they tried to bring him back. Or they did bring him back because he cut in half and falls down about 1,000 feet, and then they resurrect him as a robo dickless fucking Darth Maul. No, I hate it. So yeah, keep him dead as far as I'm concerned.
Franco says Maul is a tit, but Smilex says Maul merch is impossible to buy on opening weekend.
It's believable, because the other thing, apart from the fact that he is so visually striking in and of himself, the decision to give him that double-bladed lightsaber, which is it sounds so simple, but it is again so visually striking because it hasn't been seen before. And it does look incredible, and you suddenly think, yes, that is a thing that's believable, and it makes a difference. Not like Kylo Ren's fucking crossguard, which makes no goddamn sense. But this is an actual innovation on the lightsaber design that really pays off, I think.
Brown, we do have an official complaint, I'm afraid.
Oh, another one?
Yeah, it's by Fiona. Here you go.
StreamYards won't let us do it, sorry.
Also, if Brown's internet's struggling at 720, then good luck.
I'm
with
on my
4K.
phone.
It would be
I'm on my
entertaining.
phone. My landline internet gave up. I'm on my phone.
He's on his
Maybe that's the
Tesco
difference,
mobile.
because you're still on a landline as opposed to on Wi-Fi or fiber optic. So it might be an idea to come out of the 20th century.
Yeah, Brownie's still on dial-up, yeah.
I never knew that Ray Park was the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, yeah, yes. I
Nice
recognised the
knowledge.
movements from
Nice
when I watched
trivia.
that film. Yep.
Nice.
And he was
knowledge,
also
Melvin.
Toad in X-Men.
Okay, Fiona, you're right. We are definitely getting Maul down, but look, we're just excited to see something good for a change. So, forgive us. Ooh, come on, let's bring you in, Swappers. Let's earn your crust.
Okay. We'll handle this. We'll take the long way.
To be fair, the only way to take Liam Neeson is the long way, isn't it?
It is.
Ooh, you catch a bit of horn action. I do love the Dan Gulysak says Darth Schofield is about to reveal himself. Oh, good God.
Oh,
And then we cut from the fabulous Maul to the maybe not so fabulous Annie in the cockpits with the you get the close up of that calligraphy you were referring to earlier, Brian. It's a little bit
Yes.
babyish, isn't it?
No one should enter this who's under 15 years old.
Another drink for the Schofield reference there, gang. And there we go. The cloaks are coming off. I'm getting goosebumps here, folks.
and it's time to finish the stream, everybody.
I think Bram will give me a nudge when it's time, but hey, there's always time for a song. So
Drink, everybody.
we're getting the square off, aren't we? And I don't know, how did everyone else feel about the whole 2-on-1 thing? I know I'm setting up a few more gags there, but it never felt fair to me, and it meant that I was actually maybe slightly rooting for Maul.
Well, but I think that works. It's one of the many reasons that he does, give this outsized impression of fear, is that he is shown to be capable of taking on 2 pretty well-trained Jedi Knights in one go. It adds to his awesome factor, if anything. And it's you think at the outset, well, maybe this isn't fair, but the way he handles himself shows that actually, no, it's, if anything, it's unfair the other way around, and that's testimony to his skill. So I think that does the character justice, really.
Everyone's getting excited in the chat, Brown, but their excitement may be cut sadly short, mightn't it? But we'll see how we go.
I fear that if we carried on, we'd be here for another 3-4 hours.
But as well as Maul, we get these characters rock up, don't we? Just to battle droids. Are these battle droids?
Droidicas.
Droidicas.
Yeah,
That's
Droidicas.
I never remember the name.
Droid
They're quite good design, aren't they? These I like.
These are all right. Yeah.
They seem to deploy the shields when the plot needs them to, and they don't deploy them when it is needed. There's one particular bit where Jar Jar does them in, and just about the next scene afterwards, Amidala can't shoot them, which is a bit strange. Oh God Almighty!
You're gonna have to read that out. There's no choice.
Perhaps I need to issue a refund for €5. Who wore worse, Darth Hofield or Darth Avil?
There you go.
Which is which, the master or the apprentice?
Only 2 there are.
What happened to
and
Darth
one's gone.
Rolf?
So yeah, Rolf. Yeah, Drew's on it as well. Darth Rolf.
Jesus.
Did you ever hear of the tragedy of Darth Rolf the Wise?
Oh, this is
I'm getting the checkbook out, folks.
Yeah. I think demonetization is hovering like a saber over Brown's head. Anyway, we're dragged away from the squaring off of the Jedi and Maul, and back to this daft fight in the hangar. And I think Anakin's about to do something, possibly. Yeah, he literally says he's going to do something. He's got an annoying bratish face there, hasn't he? Bad acting, bad direction, or a bit of both?
All of it.
All the above. Okay. Oh, Brown.
Look at that. Look at that.
We started off with sighs of disappointment. Now we've got gasps of just pure
And
joy,
it is time to go.
unadulterated joy. I know, just a compliment for the Lord here. Nikki says, the Lord's quotes are touching me in ways only Philip could.
Does that mean I should turn myself in?
I can't believe all these weeks almost getting so much mileage out of Scope. It's really what we didn't expect. So he ignites the double ender. I mean, what I feel as though we should pause on it just a moment.
Just soak it up, folks. Just lap it up. How good is that?
Up. Fantastic. I remember the reaction in the movie theater. There were some, some people really did get excited when he ignited the double ender. Anyone else recall seeing it?
I was so excited, I got 2 stiffies.
I was going to, because my mates and I, we were playing with lightsabers every day around the time this film came out, and had one particular friend who really, really liked Darth Maul and insisted on trying to use the double-bladed lightsaber and kept twatting himself in the head and losing all of the fights. It's deceptively hard to use.
It was around this time when Star Wars kids surfaced on the internet, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's an old school GIF, isn't it? Yeah.
Not that anyone gives a fuck, but I've got the Force not the Hasbro one, the Master Replicas Force Effects one that you can take to bits and put together again. Brand.
Well, we loved it. We loved it, Maul. Thank you for the moments. While we're on this though, what do we think of his brief appearance in the Solo movie?
Shite. Here's my lightsaber, in case you forget who I am.
Yeah, it was really, chalk and cheese, wasn't it, in terms of, doing it for a purpose here and then just doing it for,
I forgot that even existed. Thanks for the memories.
Sorry. And different stances there from Liam and Ewan. Nice that they've got their own styles.
Well, Liam has to get his legs further apart, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got the tripod stance going on. That's right. Oh, every shot of Maul just looks fabulous, doesn't it?
Look at that.
Did they make the inside of his mouth black as well?
Yeah, there's a friend of mine who I did up for Halloween one year. I painted his head. He shaved his head, and I painted his face exactly to look like this.
Wow.
And we pulled out the inside of a magic marker and dabbed it over his teeth to get that effect.
Oh.
And unfortunately, the magic marker was permanent. I think he's still going to brush it off now. And this was 20 years ago.
Jesus. Franco, it really doesn't like Maul. Every time Maul comes on, he's absolutely raging. He's not a fan, Franco, are you? Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure you'll be. I'm sure Franco will be tuning in next week for 3-hour breakdown of the final fight. Yeah. And here we go. We're seeing the opening. We can do a little bit of this brownie, can't we?
Come on.
We can't disappoint the people.
Yeah, go on.
We'll do a bit.
Keep
folks.
going for a little bit.
Yep.
We are going to another week, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to another week, but we're going into overtime now. We're going to do a little bit of the battle. So, Lordy, give us one of your fabulous breakdowns on this opening sequence. The choreography. What do you make of it all?
Not actually an expert on fighting choreography, so no. Repeating what I said earlier, which is that I think it's a very good innovation on a traditional lightsaber thing. It's also the first proper extended lightsaber fight you get in new Star Wars, or new as it was at the time, and does signal that this complete shift in style from the old original trilogy stuff, which is very weighted, and they are swinging very heavy clubs around because they didn't have the technology to actually make them lightweight, to a much more balletic style, although it's much less balletic in this film than it is in either of the two that follow, because this one is a little bit more restrained and realistic, I guess, and I think I probably prefer it as far as balance goes. It's ornate, much more ornate than the original trilogy stuff, but not to the point of being kind of silly as some of the later prequel films do. But as a good indicator of the difference in tone and style and choreography that goes into it, I think it's a good beginning. But it's really aided by everything around it. The whole setting for that fight when they move into the I don't even know how you describe the place they move into with the giant pillars of light, and you do kind of wonder about the practicality of having that. What's it there for and why? But it looks fantastic, and then obviously it's complemented spectacularly by Duel of the Fates, which is one of the best pieces of film music of all time, really.
Yeah, really good shout. And Red Sai says having a real martial artist who could act made the difference. I think that's I know he's had his controversies or problems in recent years, but he really was perfectly cast, wasn't he? He's slightly small in stature, wasn't he? He's not the biggest Ray Park, but I don't think it mattered. He was just so convincing at what he did. It was
I think he was only about 22 as well when he got that part.
Oh, really?
Quite young, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I think Uma Plumzert said this film could have been great with a different director.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that comment, Brown.
Yeah, and a little bit of the fat trimmed. I think this could have been a really good film.
So we're torn away from the initial part of the fight, unfortunately, to Anakin's shenanigans, and this is where he starts. Well,
this bit's just irritating. A, you know what a trigger is. You know it's not a button. And B, the fact that he presses all the random buttons that just happen to complete all the pre-fight preparation for the M1 Starfighter is just ridiculously contrived and very convenient. It's like, where's the trigger? Is it this button that just happens to close the cockpit? Where's the other one? No, is it this one? Oh, no, that's just making me take off and engaging the autopilot. Oh, look, here's the obvious trigger. Let me press this button instead. Yeah.
Other than that, you like it though, yes?
Yeah, other than that, it looks fantastic.
Loves it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I mean, he perfectly narrates us through that scene there, Lordy. And all we really want to do is get back to Darth Maul and the fight scene. God damn it!
Yeah.
But I guess it's the setup here is that they were kind of trapped, and Anakin helped them against these formidable droids. Does he actually? He doesn't actually do any flying here, does he? It's just
no, it's on autopilot.
Yeah. I should have asked you, Z, about your opinion on the droidicas. Are you a fan?
They're okay. They were easily defeated, both in the prequel trilogy and in the Clone Wars. They are quite useless.
My personal favourites were the vulture droids. We hardly saw them, unfortunately. But I had the toys from them before the film came out, and they convert into these like walking things. They look really, really formidable and scary. The production design's amazing. And when they came out in toy form, I just thought I bought them at the same time as the N1 fighter, and I thought, man, these are going to be so great to see on screen. Huge, massive robots shooting people down, really scary. And we saw them in the film, and they basically did nothing. So annoying.
Still got them floating about somewhere. They were a tad ramshackle, weren't they? Swappers.
Yeah, they were a little bit. Only one of them transformed as well. You had 3 in the packet, and only one of them actually converted, which is a bit of a rip-off.
Oh, there he is. He's no Rey, is he? Just doesn't he hasn't got the natural abilities of Rey in the cockpit. But
yeah, I actually think that's actually not a bad comparison. It's a funny comparison, but also because it isn't pod racing, despite what he says later, because he's wrong about that. But I like the way it does try at least to blend the two things together. This is a kid who's never flown a ship like this before, so it does begin with the ship being taken off for him, and it's only later in desperation when he sort of takes hold of it and basically experiments because he can't really do anything else, and then he realizes that it's not as dissimilar as he thought it might be. So it's not perfect by any means, but at least they do try to make a transition there, which is better than having none at all. It's better than having a random desert girl who suddenly knows how to do absolutely fucking everything.
Well, at least his name is Skywalker.
Oh, yeah, his name actually, he really is a Skywalker. Yeah, he's not an identity theft case.
Unlike some Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
She just stole everything, didn't she?
Yeah, literally everything. Lightsaber, name, powers.
Millennium Falcon.
Paycheck.
She's about to steal the paycheck. She's about to steal the whole new Jedi Order from Luke as well. So the theft hasn't stopped. It continues.
Yeah, that's a YouTuber's dream. That film, isn't it? But you can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
Well, we're back to the fight we all wanted to. Brownie, are we left in an awkward situation where we probably can't finish tonight, but we probably don't have enough for next week? What's the? Have you thought this through?
Well, this slide's an awkward situation with Liam Neeson having a piss up against the wall. What's going on?
How do you mean? All the slides are done. We're just not going to get through them all.
I know, but we're
just get on with it.
We're going to have to go at a real slow pace if we've only got about 4 minutes.
Listen, if we go any slower, we'll be going backwards.
I think it means next week. I mean,
talking about
enough
next
week's show.
Don't worry, there's enough.
Okay.
I can't even speak. Just get
on this scene. This is another one of the slightly more subtle ways in which Maul's introduction is quite clever. Because he's shown the reason Qui-Gon is going away holding his balls there is because he's just been kicked by Darth Maul, which is as a low blow, but it's quite a subtle way of conveying a complete lack of honor and decorum from your enemy here. And again, it's a fighting style we haven't really seen a huge amount of from Star Wars before, so it's a fairly clever little way of showing Maul's devious side, which becomes very relevant later on.
It does turn kind of nasty. Qui-Gon gets kicked in the face again, as does Ewan later on. But I think Qui-Gon gives him a right good solid slap to the side of the face as well.
With his giant cock.
Yes.
I hope so. Kiriantos has a solution for us, Brown. He says, we'll do the last 7 minutes of The Phantom Menace and the first 30 minutes of Taken on the next stream.
No, can we just get on with it?
We've finally got the end of Brown's tether. This is brilliant. Brown, you're literally bathing in dollar bills from Girth Night. How dare you get techy with us?
Poor Garth is going to have to do double shifts for next week. Poor bastard.
Garth is remortgaging the house just to get through next week's stream. Okay, well, the fight rages. We get a long shot. There's walkways. There's no barriers. That's how
You know what?
it's
I was reading the novelization of this the other week, and it says in the novelization these walkways have railings, and clearly they didn't in the film. So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this place. I mean, what is going on in the Star Wars?
Yeah, it's like I don't understand what is the place. You've got the normal building, and then you've got this big fucking mega technology structure that just looks like a video game level.
I think it's supposed to hark a little bit to Bespin. I think that's sort of the aesthetic they're going for, because again, that's another fight that takes place on walkways in a huge, wide open space. My guess as to the function of it, I don't know if it is ever explained anyway what this place is. My guess is that it's like the power core for the entirety of the planet or something.
Look at
it's
that.
The equivalent of fighting in a nuclear reactor. Influenced John Williams, though, when he was composing Duel of the Fates, because he did a few different versions of it. And the whole story for that, because I don't know very many film directors who would do what he did, even just to get the choral part. It's an old Welsh poem, I think it is, The Battle of the Trees, and then he translated it into Sanskrit loosely because it sounded better. Then put that into the mouth of the choir, but the rest of the instrumentation he wasn't entirely sure what to do with until he saw this thing, and he thought, this is, it's designed as a kind of a temple. It's supposed to have almost religious significance in terms of its visuals, and that's what influenced him to go the rest of the way, and that's why we get the soundtrack that we do. So while the place itself doesn't make a huge amount of sense, it does add to a really brilliant piece of soundtrack.
What you're saying is the music's fantastic.
Yeah, and it looks great. I think it's it's probably the strongest part of the film.
Great observation from Red Sai, who says Maul is the Mike Tyson of Star Wars. I really like that. That observation. If that's the case,
bite his ear off.
Who's Qui-Gon? Any fighting references? Are we all out of
Hagler?
Marvin Hagler. I'm thinking more of a
John Conte,
Gina Carano.
More of that's a good one. Maybe like a Bruce Lee, more the spiritual. I don't know. Liam's looking.
Carradine.
Drink. Drink for the
Right here.
hairpiece.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of different hairs here, folks.
That almost looks like a plastic tube Obi-Wan's holding just there.
Let's go back and have a look. Yeah. Z might know because he takes particular interest in these things. Z, how did the lightsabers differ from what they used in the originals? What were the actors holding, and how did they do the effects? Any thoughts?
Nothing off the top of my head. The only thing that I notice is they swing them as if they're a lot lighter than they were in the original trilogy.
And
Whereas George wanted them to be heavy, wieldy things like medieval swords.
and this one, they're essentially.
Sorry, Brian, after you.
And this one, they're essentially just aluminium tubing that they used, whereas the first one obviously was the rotating. What do you call it? A reflectant film?
It was like a reflective strip, wasn't it? That rotated and it just kept breaking all the time.
But in the sequels, it's now the fluorescent tubes that are reinforced.
So, I'm not sure we've got it in the slides there, in the transition slide, but this is where the leaping between platforms, is it?
Yeah, they
That's
fly
going on,
over. Yeah.
There's also a huge and really irritating little plot hole that comes up. It's not quite yet, but you remember when they're on the Trade Federation battleship at the beginning, and the destroyer droids turn up, and they use force speed to get away really, really quickly, which is a power that would have been incredibly useful in a couple of seconds' time, but which Obi-Wan forgets that he has, which means Qui-Gon dies. So didn't have to put that in the first place, which I think would have fixed the problem, because force speed wrecks a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Qui-Gon made a
Go on,
textbook error here. Because instead of those power generators, instead of running towards Maul, he should have run back the way so that both himself and Obi-Wan were together again to face off against Maul. If you think about it, that kind of leads into the Attack of the Clones, where he tells Anakin, we're both going to do it together, and Anakin runs forward.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Nicely done, Brian. Every shot of Maul just looks fantastic. I know Franco's not appreciating it, but it's it just looks great, doesn't he? And he really had so few lines in this movie, didn't he? Was it like 5 lines or something? It was very small amount. All physical acting. But we turn ourselves away from that fight to the fleeing Captain Panaka and the gang.
Lots of running.
Yeah. And we've not seen their zip wire maneuver yet, have we, Brown?
Well, at this rate, we're not gonna. Go on, speed up a bit. Not too much though.
You want to get it done tonight or what?
2 hours 30. We're leaving.
Right. Okay. We'll see what we can do in 12 minutes, folks. We've got 12 minutes left of oxygen. Come on, let's make the most of it. So the fight rages on in the where are they? The Vatican or wherever this is based.
Is the Pope around?
Schofield be well at home, wouldn't he?
Gavin Blackburn with the old slight against the British there with teeth.
Gavin!
Like
Gavin, you spoiled yourself there, mate.
Gavin, refund that man, Brown. Terrible, Gavin. And droids being easily dispatched.
I thought that battle droid had lipstick on for a second there.
Oh,
yeah, lippy, yeah.
Trans battle droid.
Are they good or are they shit?
It's the age-old question.
And that line could be applied at any point over the last 6 weeks. Really.
There's a very fine line with this film, isn't there? On everything.
Yeah, it's it needed a really good edit, didn't it? It needed probably a better director and some of the casting choices.
George, no.
And it needed toning down the CGI maybe, and But as you always say, Brown, there's a good story just dying to get out.
Yeah, I think there is genuinely a great film in here somewhere.
It's the same thing with
There is-
all of the prequels. It's the thing that makes them distinct from the sequels, and the reason that you can find some things to love about them is that, yeah, deep down at their core, these are Star Wars films. There are some really good ideas. The concepts are all there. The delivery is incredibly lacking, but at least it's still got that same heart and that nebulous Star Wars quality to it.
And
Whereas
no
there is no
stench of
way.
KK.
There is no stench of KK. There's no way you can say the same of the sequels. There's no way of imagining how those could be turned into something anything other than they are, which is dog shit.
Gavin Blackburn just coming back to us. He's actually from Lancashire.
Oh, that's your neck of the woods, isn't it?
It's and if maybe he's Gavin from Blackburn, in which case he's only about 7 miles from me as the crow flies. So Gavin, come over for next Wednesday and we'll do the stream together. Golf Knight is dipped into his Mary Poppins like pockets and brownie.
Garth Knight for an incredibly generous $5. Ruin, the oxygen joke is bad taste, even for you. Brownie, give Ruin a 10-hour timeout.
Okay, I apologize. I'm subverting your expectations of decency, but
Well, you are Ruin Johnson, so
I know, main character. So Anakin's in space, and is it R2? Is that? Oh no, the autopilot's flying the ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
who programmed the autopilot?
No idea.
It's a good question for another time.
Stream killer.
And just when you thought you got rid of me for 10 hours, Common People comes right back at you saying, no, the oxygen joke is in good taste. I'm using real money, so I'm right.
Yeah. £5 sterling, real money, folks.
The
He's
backwards
right.
and forwards between Common People and Girth Knight has been extremely lucrative for you tonight, Mr. Brown.
To
and
be,
also very
this-
And
entertaining.
YouTube.
There's like only several pence difference between those super chats. So to be more writer than those two people, just add a little bit more funds on your super chat and your super.
Oh god damn it, we're back to Naboo. Oh, I'm so disappointed. And we've got barely minutes left. I don't know how much more we're gonna get of Maul.
It's testament to how much I hate the Gungans that as I see this, my brain is like going haywire, trying to rewrite the film as we go in a way that just gets rid of them completely so we don't need any of this. And in the course of doing that, I was trying to think, well, hang on, did we really need any of this? Because they were sneaking in anyway. I know the majority of the forces have been taken out by this diversion, but there's not many instances I can think of where the Trade Federation would have had more forces on site anyway. The plan is still to blow up the ship. So do you even need the Gungans as it currently stands, or is this just filler?
Everyone seems to want rid of them. Palpatine wants them all wiped out. And they're all willing to sacrifice themselves anyway. And a nice little underwater part would be quite good because Padme hates him as well.
Yeah, there's Jar Jar doing Jar Jar shit. And so we've got three things going on, haven't we? We've got the Battle of Naboo, we've got this Anakin in space, and we've got the one we really want to go back to is Darth Maul battle. Red Side made some good points tonight, Red Side. Good performance to you. He says, I think Lucas wants to give us an epic battle on land, but this wasn't a good setup, and I think you're
A couple of years too early, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I mean, it's again, it's testament to George trying to cram way too many bad ideas into the same script because there's no big epic battle on land in A New Hope. We don't get a big epic battle on land until Empire Strikes Back. Not every film in the original trilogy had one or needed to have one. And you get a pretty good epic battle on land in Attack of the Clones coming after this one. So, yeah, just leave them out. There's no point to them.
Look at that.
Oh, we tell you what, we've got a lot of look at that towards the end here.
See, that is good.
I couldn't believe they were going for yet another. Let's blow up the big thing at the end when already they had it in Star Wars and Return of the Jedi. Although that's nothing considering did it again in the sequel trilogy.
If I may, that is practical spaceship blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Common People says for
Real money,
£2,
folks.
I've chosen Garth as my nemesis. It's what's the better battle? Is it Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, or is it Common People versus Garth Knight? Because
we'll find out next week, hopefully.
ooh.
I'm
Well,
going to go for Common People versus Garth Knight because they're almost single-handedly going to save Brown's cat, paying for his bill.
Yeah.
oh, what's wrong with your cat, Brown?
She's got a growth on her lip, and she needs 2 teeth removing.
Oh, a
Bless
bit
her.
of an abscess or something. Oh, well, what's the cat's name, Brown?
Jet,
Oh, why didn't you call her Hannah Bomb?
because I didn't know Hannah Bomb at the time. Even
Yeah,
though I
but
do
you like
saying
you like saying the name so much.
if I ever get another pet, Tim, Hannah Bomb is the name.
Oh, you're going to add the Tim bit. I would just go for the Hannah Bomb. Could call her
Hannah
Hannah.
Bomb. Can we just
Hannah
go
if
with
it's
it, please?
female, you
Can
could
we
call her
just get on?
Hannah Bomb.
Hannah Tim Bomb.
Well,
Bomb,
we've got
Hannah.
lots of explosions here, and
This is tense.
a tiny
Oh.
child.
What a child's. When I was doing the slides and I was like, what?
That was not good
This
acting.
is tense. This is tense.
It's scene
Oh.
directions. You don't need this kind of. If you ever get to the point you're writing anything and you have to have a character tell the audience what they're meant to be feeling, that's not good. No, we're supposed to get this from what we see. We don't need Anakin popping up and telling us this is tense. This bit's melancholy. Qui-Gon dies and we cut away and it's like this bit's sad. I know.
It's because it's all on green screen, so no one can see what's going on.
This scene here was trying to play homage to the Return of the Jedi scene.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit in the
Just
cockpit of the
didn't
Falcon
quite,
when all the TIE fighters go at them. The ships all fly toward and away at the same kind of thing.
Obi-Wan Darkside is seems to have travelled back in time to about an hour and a half ago when we talked about 90s hotties, and he said Jet from Gladiators, but I don't know, kind of randomly.
Jet had it, didn't she? She had it.
She was vastly overrated, Jet.
Oh.
Body of Baywatch, face of Cram Watch.
Well, maybe. I'm looking for a natural point, Brown, for us to wrap, but we just keep getting these random space shots.
Well, there's a meme coming up. There's in about 2 seconds. Just wait for the meme, and then we can leave.
Wait for the meme. Hashtag there for those of you who engage in hashtags. Thanks, Brian. Save Bruin's pussy.
That's save, not shave.
Garth has just blown it out of the water with his latest.
I know.
edition.
I'm starting to get teary. Z, you available?
I am indeed. Garth Knight in the chat says, for 19.99, here is to Jet the Cat crossing Abbey Road unsupervised.
Oh, what a beautiful gesture.
I'm starting to cry. Cheers, Garth.
How much would it take for you to rename your cat to Hannah Bomb?
What do you reckon, folks? $500,000?
Oh,
I mean, does she consent first?
Well,
I'm sure she'll be all right with it.
I
I think this is practical, folks.
was
I would
going to
just
say
say,
practical, yeah.
yeah, Garth. I would just say, Garth, thank you so much.
Yeah, very
I'm
generous,
just
Garth.
genuinely touched by your generosity. Thank you, my friend.
Not in a Schofield way.
That's next week.
I mean, Brown's going to get something like a new microphone or something, and the poor cat's still going to be walking around with this lump on its lip.
Bastard.
Meme, we can go now. We can leave.
There we go. This is the point.
I think that's it, folks. Yeah.
It's it. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Good.
Now, this
God,
line I
kill
don't
me now.
actually understand because you can't spin in a pod racer.
Yeah.
So how does he even know that?
You've got all week to think about that question, folks. All week.
All week to write the story for George Lucas 20 years afterwards.
Kyriantos, I must just read this last one. He says, this stream's been more profitable than the Bank of England base rate rises have been for the banks.
I think that must go down as a dry humour joke. I do love my interest rate humour, though. It's very good.
Yeah, it's niche, but the Lord liked it.
38 slides. Do you want to try and bat it out for the 38 or finish now?
Should we put it to a vote? What do my fellow retrobates say?
Bearing in mind, there's another 200 after that.
I'm in.
We'll keep going. Is everybody up for 3 hours?
Look at all the super chats coming in.
I know.
We can't stop now. Brownie will pay off his mortgage if we keep going this way. Go on, Brownie. Garth Knight is.
Garth Knight for I'm going to start saying for $20. That's definitely real money. Brownie, your work has touched so many of us in a Schofield type of way. Cheers, Garth.
I don't know if it's a compliment, but it's a very generous.
I just cannot believe the generosity.
No.
Obi-Wan Darkside for €10 for Jets, the Gladiator cap.
I can't believe the generosity. Yeah, but it is euros, so is it generous?
See, you share a little bit of yourself, Brown, and the love just comes in.
I will say, when I was doing these slides today, folks, it was only about. I knew I had about 20 minutes of film, and then obviously there's about 10 minutes of credits. It was pain, real. I just wanted it to stop, but anyway. It is what it is. Common people for £20. This is definitely real money. Real money.
Brown, what's going on tonight? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, look, I mean, everyone's.
My head's going to explode, folks. Brian, you available, mate?
With all this money, Brown's going to go to Barbados, and the cat will be in the canal.
I think I'm going to Mexico, folks.
Just know that if he comes up next week and says, "Yeah, see, my dog has got it's got a growth on its,"
I haven't got a dog.
Well, no, that's the point. But if you come along next week and say that another pet's injured, people might start to suspect. So
we'll find out that he's got all these pets in his house. That like 10 guinea pigs, 3 mice, 2 spiders.
It's a new pet every stream.
She's 16 years old. Can you believe it?
Bless her.
Oh, well, that's not worth bothering with, is it, for a 16-year-old cat?
Oh my god,
you bastard! Brian, you available, pal?
God.
What a bastard! No wonder you're not getting your trilogy.
Soteris Peribussus for $4.99 says, "No better Wednesday than a 3-hour goon with friends."
Oh,
beautiful.
When are they
and it
turning
keeps
up?
coming.
That was that. Can I just compliment Brian on that expert rendition of Professor Denzel Dexter?
It was very good. Crowd toss for £2. That's real money, 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 money.
May I request we pull up Jay Goodwin's remark?
Jay Goodwin. This one?
No.
No?
It'll stop being funny by the time you find it. So
is that the one, Brian, or is another one?
Jay Goodwin says he'll return home to Jamaica with that money.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
We might even get a decent accent out of him.
Lord, you available,
mate? I am from Max Broomfondle, who demands rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty, and also gives $10 for the kitty cat. And please, for the love of God, let's all just pretend the film's over.
That's next week.
Well, look, I don't know whether we made the decision, but it feels like
£2. Anyone know how to set up a mortgage?
Set up a mortgage. Financial advice at the Brown Alliance.
I'm taken aback with the generosity, folks. Thank you so much,
Brownie. Genuinely, is this the in terms of super chats, this has got to be the best, surely, in all your time.
I'm just stunned. Thank you so much,
Oh.
everybody.
Well, they're heading out the window, folks. I've had
Pussy is
enough.
more interesting than this film. I had a friend who had a cat. It was a ginger cat. Lived to the age of I think 22, and managed to make it that far because both her parents are NHS consultants and just gave it human drugs to stave off its diabetes and its Alzheimer's and its tooth decay and all the rest of it. So while shortages affect everyone else trying to use the NHS these days, that cat was very well taken care of.
I'm probably high as a kite.
Oh god, yeah, it was dribbling all over the place.
Garth Knight for $5. Ian David Diaz needs to be here to be upset. He'll be here next week, don't worry. Shit.
What are we doing next week, though? Super sticker.
Gavin, super sticker. Thank you, Gavin.
I hate this, but
Yeah, it especially at this point in the movie, it feels more like a Act 2 kind of thing, not at the the
not
climax
one of
of
them
the film.
looks even remotely concerned about how high up they are and literally just holding onto the gun. If it was something maybe they strapped onto their belt or something Batman style or even Luke Skywalker style, it'd be a bit more convincing, but just hold on to the gun, fire up when you're 1,000 feet up. Nah.
And if they knew they could do this, why did they even go through the inside of the palace? Why haven't they just rappelled up the outside from the beginning where no one could spot them?
A lot of love coming in for cats in general. Obviously, your cat Brownie, and just for the record, I know I made a slightly distasteful joke. I did. I did.
Don't worry,
own
I'm gonna beat
cats.
shit out of
Which
you
one are you
later, don't
talking
worry.
about?
I know. I'll have to narrow that down a bit, won't I? I did own 2 cats. One lived to 90, one to 21. So I'm sure your cats have got many more years, especially when you saw the growth sitch out there, Brown.
Moving on.
Like, what happens if those fall off? They don't look very securely
comical, this is
Look at that.
stuck in the wall.
Well, this is all far more effective technology
Tristan.
than the Mandalorians in that episode that they tried to scale that cliff to get the kid back.
Oh no, this is comedy. What the hell?
I was in the cinema
stuff.
watching this. I was in the cinema watching. Sorry, I was in the cinema watching this, and the people I were with just burst out laughing at this scene.
It is just. I'm going to put it out there. This is almost as cringe as the bloody bikers in was it Book of Boba Fett or Mando? I don't remember.
I don't know. That's very harsh because that is one of the most cringe scenes in TV history, and I mean this is cringe. I don't know if it's on that level.
Max has nailed it. Pink Floyd cover. Very good. Oh, it goes on. It goes on. We're trying to wrap this thing and they're dangling on the end. George, he's dropped the ball here, George.
No one was there at the time saying, "Look, George, mate, look, just
pack it in, son."
This is a weird kind of bit of editing because all she's doing is blasting open a hole for them to get through, and it looks as if she's actually targeting someone.
Bit of slight overacting, maybe.
Well, compared to everything else in this film, any acting is overacting in this film. That's why it looks so janky.
Well, there's only Palps who's doing any acting at all, really.
Oh, he carries the entire trilogy. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we get back to the fight, folks, and this is what we want to see. And this is where Maul's doing this crazy kind of
kick to the face. This one,
somersault type kick. Yeah. Garth Knight's back at it, folks. Look up the dog named Bobby who lives in Greece. I think 30-year-old dog.
Wow.
Godspeed to the feline Brownie. So, wow, there you go. There's hope yet. Hope for us all.
Bob Hope.
One for the kid.
This is rip for Obi-Wan because this is the scene where he dies, given how far he falls on his neck. I think he lands the first time. He's broken at least his spine, probably his neck and several ribs. So he should not survive either this fall or the one that comes after it.
It's just a flesh wound.
We're getting lots of RIP cat culons in the comments there, Brown. I've got to say, the film might be awful, but the chat's been absolutely on fire these last 6 weeks, haven't they?
And 7 weeks. And 8 weeks. The chat is fantastic. We're just truly blessed. As I said before, I think the size of the channel is just spot on now. But I think intimate enough to be fun. Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, we don't want any. He doesn't want any more subscribers or people turning up for the streams. We've reached our peak.
Oh, it's like, look at that. What is that?
Look at that. Is that a good look at that or a bad look at that?
No,
I couldn't tell.
it's just
common people. Go on, Brian.
I'm never going to financially recover from this. Thank you.
What's that from? I've seen that line, so it might just be a meme or something, but it's
Oh, it's Tiger King.
No, it's Tiger King. It is. It's Tiger King. Well done, yeah. Cheers, swappers.
Here you go, Jade. And Mr. Brown answers me. You're right, man, about the proper size of the social group, man.
Oh, God. It's all going so well. And we have the kind of laser doors, don't we?
No, not yet.
No? All right.
4
Okay.
He's about
slides to go.
jump up to the platform before he does that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. He's made it back up. And meanwhile, Qui-Gon's kind of going one-on-one with Darth Maul.
This is the moment.
75 are watching, folks.
Yeah, wow. We keep growing. Brown, I don't know about you, but I think we just plow straight on to Attack of the Clones.
What, tonight?
No one needs to go to bed, do they? I mean, the numbers keep growing, the money keeps coming in. I mean, you can retire by 9 o'clock tomorrow.
So what we're going to do it in one go? We're going to do it now. I'll just start watching the movie.
He's getting excited.
I'll be back in 2 days, everybody.
Qui-Gon.
We're definitely going to be here next week, aren't we? So
40-hour telethon for Brown's cat.
Sponsored by I Am's Cat Litter.
Obi-Wan Darkside, Brown. Maybe if Z's available, maybe could I suggest?
I can indeed. Obi-Wan Darkside in the chat for €5 says, Brown will have the $600 CAD after tonight, with Lee Majors making an appearance.
It will be interesting. Obviously, you guys have been fantastically generous this evening. It'll be interesting to see what your generosity does for the algorithm, because YouTube will be thinking, oh, something's going on pretty good here.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It'll just take a look to make sure no one got their tits out, and then it'll say, well, okay, that's fine then, because that's normally the established way that most people make money. We're not Amaranth or something like that.
So YouTube are hoping for ill cats. Is that what you're saying, Brown?
Apparently so.
I'm sure when they review the stream, they won't find anything distasteful. Or,
It took them. I think it was not last week's stream, but the one the week before. It took them 12 days to clear it. Can you believe it?
Jay Goodwin says, imagine the poor sod that watches this based on the recommendation. Someone will watch it and think, oh, it must get good at some point.
That's next week, folks.
Well, that's ironically what we're all thinking in the cinema when we watch the film. So.
Hey.
I paused on this screen. I mean, the chats are on fire anyway, but I do like this bit where Obi-Wan slides up and just about stops in time. But Garth Knight's asked a question directly to me. He said, Ruin, I did want to ask, will 3PO be involved in your trilogy? Well, I've got breaking news, Garth. 3PO will be involved in my trilogy, and in fact, I'm having Really looking forward to literally dismantling him one piece at a time. We have a whole 40-minute segment in the middle of the film where we take him apart and then melt him down, and then we all gather around and piss over the remains of him. So is that okay with you?
A second film off of you, give it to JJ, and he says, "Lol, no, he's back," and that's just the way Star Wars works.
They
I
piss now.
genuinely feel fear for my personal safety.
There you go, Garth. Hope you appreciate that one. And we have the separation. I've got to say, I know we've put many hours into this, and I know this film has its flaws. I do love this end sequence. I really do.
What is the technology with these big laser gates? Is it just because it's something to add to the scene, or because it looks good? Builds tension.
Yeah. It's not. The two things that sort of drag it down are A, why the hell isn't he using force speed? And B, what the hell is really the point of the laser gates? But it is sci-fi fantasy. It's all a little bit vague and nebulous. And we're already having to assume that the big thing they just fought through might have been some kind of power plant. We don't know how Nabooian power plants work. So maybe, there's a reason these things have to exist, like power transfer or something.
I don't know if you know this, but YouTube, it monitors the live streams, and then where people go on their browsers, when they're watching the live streams. Apparently, the top two hits, Brown, is people Googling how big is Liam Neeson's cock and who is Philip Schofield. They're the two hot topics from the Brown Alliance stream. So, this is it's just an iconic scene. This I love the two things: the prowling of Darth Maul and the Liam Neeson kind of meditational kneel. I do. It's fabulous. Even this, the testing of it makes him look a tad stupid, but it's a nice touch. There he is, kneels down and. And one of you guys might know, have I got this right, that the prowl was maybe was that something Ray Park? I'm sure I've heard that in one of his interviews, something he improvised. So if anyone can verify.
No.
Haven't heard that, but
okay.
Considering the way that George Lucas directs, I wouldn't be surprised.
Z, you available, mate?
I am indeed. Garth Knight for $4.99 in the chat says, I'm with Brownie. Why are the laser gates? Hashtag Schofield. I'm sorry, Garth Knight. Why your pronouns?
Why?
Jeez.
Yeah, we'll add why to Garth Knight's profile. You do have to wonder what purpose they serve other than to make this fantastic end scene, but there's Liam. Whenever I lose my shit, I always think, try and be Qui-Gon. Try and be more Qui-Gon. Stay centered, stay composed. Very samurai-like, isn't it?
I mean, these gates made sense in The Mandalorian as they were used for security.
Well,
but here they make absolutely no sense whatsoever, apart from just cutting everybody off from everyone else.
Brown, we appear to have reached the end of the road.
That's it then.
Oh, that's it. We can't even finish the goddamn movie.
Well, he's resting. So we're back next week.
I thought we were going to wrap.
No, we wouldn't. We'd be here for another 3 hours.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, look, if we're going to finish, we're finished on literally one of my favourite scenes, so I do appreciate that. Wow, what a time to be alive. And I genuinely want to send my heartfelt best wishes to Mr. Brown's cat and genuinely the people trapped in the sub, and I do hope they find a way out. Brownie, I think
you should try spinning. That's a good trick.
Oh, no, you didn't go there. Brownie, I think I should just hand it back to you because you're literally rolling an American dollar and some pounds and some Canadian euros.
I think I'll emigrate to America. No, Ruin, you finish us off, mate.
Oh, I thought I did that with The Last Jedi, but yes, well, look, folks, We're doing part 6. It's really happening. We are going to part 6.
Jeez.
I've already told Brown I'm going on holiday the week after, so we absolutely have to finish
We
next
will
week.
finish it
and
next week.
We will absolutely finish it next week. I just want to say, what a night. I've had a great time. Chat's been fabulous, so I want to thank the chat, and in turn, I want to thank
Thank you,
all
chat.
our
You're
guests.
wonderful.
We'll start with the late arrival retrobates. The Lordy, thank you, Lordy.
Thank you, top presenting work. Well done, chat. You've enabled Brown to afford his pussy for the first time in many, many decades. So hope you knew that's what you were donating to. But yeah, great fun.
Yeah, poor cat's not going to get any of that money. He's going straight down the lap dancing bar later on. Swappers, thanks for joining us. And every time I see your avatar, I just want to eat a Bakewell tart.
You're very welcome, Ruin. And Brownie, try and stay away from Betfred, okay?
I will do. Paddy Power.
And for that last gag I did, Garth Knight's just throwing another £10 in the or $10 in the.
I will say to Garth, if you can send me an email, email is on the about page. Send us an email, mate.
Yeah, he wants a loan, Garth. So if you can send him your email, just joking. Z, thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome, and thank you to the panel and the chat. You've all been misled. All this money's going to Brown's private jet.
That's going to Mexico.
And sorry about the traumatic scene I described in my trilogy. Brian, thank you, sir.
Cheers, Ruin. Thanks also to Lost Cord, Brownie, Z, Swappers, and of course the chat. We're very, very lucky to have you all with us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we are. The level of entertainment in the chat is off the charts. Brownie, I do want to give you the last word. It's your channel, and you've had a fabulous night, a really good attendance. And
chat, you are just fantastic. We have got the best chat on YouTube, without a doubt, in my opinion. Top job, Ruin.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just wondering, we have got the best chat and we have got the best panel of retrobates, but are they good enough to take on Attack of the Clones? That's what I want to know.
Well, we're going to finish this next week, are we not?
We're going to have to.
Then you're away for a week.
2 weeks.
Right. Oh, are you writing
weeks.
trilogies?
Oh, no. 2 weeks.
Okay. It'll be Ahsoka then, won't it?
Oh, no, surely not.
I don't know.
No, not yet.
No.
Still a couple of more weeks left. My holidays seem to tie in the same as Ruin's, funnily enough.
Oh, okay.
Only for the next 2 weeks after next week.
Oh, he's even following me on holiday. God damn it.
Oh, it's just the in the stars that we all do this next week then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get it boxed next week. Okay, folks. Well, look, at that point, I should let you all go back to bed. So thank you, everyone. You've been an absolute pleasure. And until next week, may the Force be with you all. Good night, man, babies.
Cheers, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
See you at the weekend. Back at the weekend.
Chiming.